It's heating up. One thing about the 49ers for the last few years, it's always been just as interesting in the offseason, nearly as much as the regular season. and because we've always got some controversy going. It's not the quarterback, it's something else. It's get rid of Jed. Remember the Jets? Remember the Jed offseason? Yeah, if you go back and look at all the nostalgia, you'll come up. That's what you should have. Give me the season offseason controversy going all the way back to 2011. Go back to the pre-Harbaugh, just pre-Harbaugh and just into the Harbaugh era. Every year it was just hot. There's no exception. Today's headline subject: every quarterback that is available, every last quarterback that is available is rumored to be in serious conversations with John Lynch and the 49ers. Today we'll be going over some of those proposed dealings while also looking at the profile of the man who will be making the final call on who will be playing quarterback for the Niners in 2021. Head coach Kyle Shanahan. That's who it's going to come down to. This, along with everything. God, I love doing that. Still a special stories, though, today. And, sooner or later, one of them is liable to come true. Because you get so many. I would say 95% of them every year probably BS and writers just having fun and getting attention. But Grant Code, yes, our guy from SI, is reporting that the 49ers have the inside edge to acquire Matt Stafford from the Lions, according to a source extremely close to the situation. And I never know what that means exactly, but that's what Grant is saying. Online sportsbook Bovada recently listed the Niners with the best odds to land Stafford. And this is serious, from the rap sheet. Ian Rappaport said on NFL Network that nearly a third of the teams in the league have already reached out to the Lions. And, quote, as teams line up to trade for Matthew Stafford, a source extremely close to the situation said that while nothing is done or close to being finalized, the San Francisco 49ers seem to have the inside edge. Could that be what Grant's talking about? To land Stafford in a trade with the Detroit Lions. That's what reports Cone. I'm not sure how it's kind of combined, but it's all in one write-up, right? So we'll see. And then it gets even more entertaining, though. ESPN's Bill Barnwell. Barnwell ranked the most likely trade scenarios for Watson should the quarterback's relationship with the Texans be beyond repair. He says also examines that what it might take for each potentially interested team to acquire Mrs. Watson's baby boy. The 49ers come in at number 3 on Barnwell's list of the most likely scenarios, with only scenarios involving the Miami Dolphins and Carolina Panthers ahead of them. I don't know how the Panthers got in the mix. It was the Jets for one while. I guess they're out now. What does it take for General Manager John Lynch and company to acquire Watson from the Texans? Barnwell has went to the lengths of the 49ers taking part in a 3-team trade. Look up ESPN. You won't believe this still. Part of a 3-team trade also involving the New York Jets. Okay, but I don't understand, Bill. You say it's about Miami, San Francisco, and the Panthers, but then you say the Jets are involved. So I guess he lost his train of thought while he was writing that up. Anyway, the breakdown is the 49ers send Texas number 12 overall pick in this upcoming draft, the 2022 first round. Let me say number 12 pick in 2021, 2022 another first rounder, and second round pick, 2023 third round pick, and safety Tavares Moore. Bill, you got to get a better drug dealer, son. This is not going to happen. And 49ers will then send to the Jets Jimmy Jets send to the Texans quarterback Sam Darnold. Wait, it gets better. Jets send to 49ers 2022 fifth-round pick. Texans then send to the 49ers quarterback Deshaun Watson. That's a long process, isn't it? I mean, it would be attractive. To which team benefits the most here? The Jets. Who the Jets? Oh, the Jets get Jimmy? Without having to spend much. You know, Robert Saleh, I don't think he disrespects Jimmy. Maybe. So in the end, the 49ers would give up 2 first-round picks, a second-rounder in 2022, a third-rounder in 2023, T. Moore and Garoppolo to receive Watson and a fifth-round pick in 2022. There you go. I want to see the Vegas odds on that one going down, okay? Boy, Jimmy is like rat meat. He ain't worth a damn. Okay. I got inspired, though. I saw Brian Rennick of 49ers Web Zone, and I've known this. When Kyle first came, I was checking him out, what makes him tick about him and his dad, and Brian put it all down. I'm gonna just go ahead and I want to see what your reaction is. But anyway, during his time with the WFT, Kyle Shanahan had a mobile playmaking quarterback leading his offense. Everybody remembers RG3, and he literally ran through the NFL like a hurricane in his rookie year, leading his team to the playoffs and winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. RG3 was making even, you know who was with us at the time, right? He was even made Cap look second to him. Then, in the first playoff game against the Seahawks, disaster struck. RG3 tears some ligaments in his right knee, and Kyle and his dad, Mike Shanahan, were crushed. And instead of shaking that incident off and move on, Shanahan vowed never to have his heart broken like that again. Actually, for and since the RG3 experiment in Washington, Kyle Shanahan has had a very specific flavor of quarterback leading his offenses. It's true. And actually, if you watch Shanahan the last 2-3 years, well, actually, since he's been in San Francisco, these observations I'm about to lay out next are as accurate as it gets. In fact, he's had a specific flavor of quarterback leading his offenses. They're all shades of Kirk Cousins. And I'll tell you why. Whether a brighter shade like Matt Ryan, league MVP in 2016, or a little less potent and polished like Jimmy G or Matt Schwab, Shanny has a type. Something we've all noticed is that Shanahan believes completely in his system, possibly to a fault. But the concepts of what he wants colors his quarterback evaluation at every turn. Shanahan believes in his system. Him and his dad devised it, the original writer on it, the author of it. Shanahan added to it, polished it, and both of them will be damned if they're going to have a quarterback come in and start doing his own thing and ruining what they've already built for years. You know it's true. That's why I kept asking, why do Jimmy G, CJ, and Nick look so similar on every play? Jimmy, of course, executing the best, but that's the way it is. All three of those guys have different personalities. That's not a coincidence. Shanahan wants a sniper who will read the defense pre-snap, progress to his reads, stand in the pocket. Like he's always said, I want a guy that stands there, keeps his eyes downfield. Trucks are coming at him. Players are slapping him in the face and kicking his ass, but he keeps his eyes downfield and makes that play. But that goes against what he does also in play action. But the thing is, he wants you to hit that open man in the pattern because that pattern was designed by him and that wide receiver. And this is why I always say, blaming the quarterback is one thing in Shanahan's offensive system, but you best believe that wide receiver has to also be on his P's and Q's. He can't deviate. He can't do weird things. He's got to do what he was taught to do. Shanahan builds a machine, but doesn't have an independent personality, but it has an amoeba of forces that work together to actually combine to make one machine, the Shanahan machine. as I go out, hit the open man in the pattern, and there's always an open man in Shanahan's design, provided they can pull it. Provided the players in the scheme can do their job. This is why Kyle and his dad Mike loved Kirk Cousins coming out of Michigan State in 2012, the NFL draft, and why Daniel Snyder, the owner, hates the Shanahans with a passion to this day. Snyder badly wanted RG3 on the team. The Shanahans did not. They didn't know whether RG3, coming from a spread system at Baylor that never had him under center, could run the play-action heavy system the Shanahans have built their careers on. Kirk Cousins, on the other hand, played in a pro-style offense at Michigan State. And Kyle could evaluate quite easily whether Cousins could run his offense or not, which is why the Shanahans saw to it that WFT drafted Cousins in the 4th round, even though they had already given up a fortune of ransom to acquire the number 2 pick and draft RG3. Kirk was always Kyle's ace in the hole. They did that to appease Snyder. And as I say to this day, Snyder hates the Shanahans with there's no limit to the hate. Snyder was livid and most likely was thinking mutiny in the boundary when those guys did that. When Shanahan became head coach of the Niners in 2017, the consensus top 3 quarterbacks coming out were Mitchell Trubisky from North Carolina, Deshaun Watson, Clemson, and the biggest mistake Shanahan ever made by passing on Patrick Mahomes from Texas Tech. Shanahan's not alone, though. Mahomes should have been picked number 1. But no. Meanwhile, when the 49ers' time on the clock on the draft night came up, out of all the quarterbacks in the draft class, the one who caught Kyle's eye was a quarterback who ran a pro-style offense at the University of Iowa. C.J. Beathard? Shanahan did not have to try and imagine what Beathard would look like running plays from under center because he saw it with his own 2 eyes. Now, he could not say the same for the other 3 guys I just mentioned. If Kyle says on this day that he would stand by his 2017 choice and that he failed to look a little closer to those he passed on, if he said no, I would still do. Kyle, listen, can we put you on a polygraph, man? Come on, man. Kyle, I'm talking about in hindsight. Okay, do you still hold on to that same belief that CJ was the best choice? Watson and Mahomes have become a couple of the league's golden boys. We all know that since 2017, especially Mahomes, who may equal Brady's back-to-back Super Bowl plateau in just another week. And the smart money is on Mahomes to just cream Brady and the Bucs. I'm talking, it's going to get ugly out there. But the Bucs defense may have a surprise, and you should never bet against Brady. So I'm just kidding. Don't bet against Brady. Don't do it. Whereas Mahomes is a winner, and I've always said there's a such thing as winners versus losers. That's just the way it's written. When you're born, you're pretty much already on the path you're going to be on, and you can bust ass and work hard, but somehow you'll still get beat if you're a loser. But those facts speak to what Shanahan looks for at the quarterback position. There's no doubt that Deshaun Watson, who's currently rumored to want out of Houston, would probably be nothing but short of amazing in Kyle's offense. But you wouldn't bet on him willing to invest the kind of capital necessary to bring him to Santa Clara. Matthew Stafford, who has mutually agreed to part ways with the Lions, as you know, costs far less than a trade capital. And this is why I think it may actually happen. There's a cash savings here. The only thing is there's a little bit of a slowdown to get Stafford acclimated because, as you know, in history, you watch Matty Ice struggle his first year. We'd have to wait probably 2 seasons. Next year we'd come close, maybe make the playoffs. And next year after that, though, it may all hell may break loose. Depending on Stafford's feeling year after next. Stafford is actually a Kyle-style quarterback. He actually is. He would most likely fit into the offense. If you compare Stafford's career numbers to Matt Ryan's career numbers before Kyle took over as Atlanta's offensive coordinator in 2015, the similarities are mirror-like. Matt Ryan, 64%, 7.2 yards per attempt, touchdown percentage, 4.5%, interceptions, 2.4%. Stafford, completion percentage, 62.6, yards per attempt, 7.2. Touchdowns, 4.5%. Interceptions, 2.3%. That's scary, isn't it? Kyle's going to look at that. He's going to look at that and he's going to say, Jimmy has some similar stats here, though, which is interesting, too. Jimmy's completion rate is pretty much up there in par with these guys as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, though. The interception rate is a little different. If Stafford comes to the Niners and takes the same leap that Ryan did under Shanahan, which is a big if with the current state of the performance of the offensive line, no, that offensive line has got to get a little better. And that could be just with if you get Alex Mack to replace Weston Richburg, if Richburg can't come back, you've got to do something with that center. The center is essential to what Shanahan does in his offense. You can't just put any guy out there. Captain Garland's not bad, but he's got to come back. He stayed out injured most of the season, too. Stafford, Cousins, and Ryan are all shades of the same quarterback, but Stafford has significantly more arm talent than the other two guys. He would force defenses to defend the deep portion of the field, opening up more underneath opportunities for GK, Debo, and Brandon Ayuk, a.k.a. the Yak Brothers, to eat up yards after the catch. And that's why Kyle got them. This is why I always get a laugh. People say, man, we ain't got nobody to throw deep downfield. Hell, Kyle isn't going downfield. That's why I got the Yak Brothers. He's assembled them just for this reason. Higher percentage passes, which is always higher percentage passes are your shorter shots, as opposed to the downfield pass. Tom Brady can prove that from what he did in fourth quarter in that championship. Tom is lucky that the Bucs stopped Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter. 3 INTs, and Rodgers couldn't cash in on not one of them because the Bucs just shut him down. That ain't going to happen every time. Anyway, Stafford does have the talent to expand the offense, no doubt. When you look at the draft, the top 4 quarterback prospects, Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, Justin Fields, Ohio State, Zach Wilson, BYU, and Trey Lance from North Dakota State, all are playmakers, but they're from spread offenses. Kyle's not going to look at them. He's not going to do it. But because they don't remind anybody of Kirk Cousins, maybe Kyle's going to move away from that at least a little bit. It's just hard to say. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago after the college championship game, because as I said, I've been studying Kyle since he first came here. You know which quarterbacks, that do remind you of Cousins? And some people already noticed too. Mac Jones. I said, watch Kyle go for Mac Jones. Kyle Trask. A lot of people like Trask, so that's okay. Matt Miller, though, formerly of Bleacher Report, reported back in November 2020 that rumors were swirling in the scouting community that the Niners had sent chief talent evaluator Adam Peters to Alabama to see Mac Jones in person. But, it was also stated in the same report that Peters was sent to BYU to scout Wilson as well. Could Kyle be softening up on his, some people may call stubbornness, for this kind of quarterback, the Mac Jones, the Kirk Cousins? Niners draft position likely no longer has him in range for Fields, Wilson, or Lance anyway, unless they give up significant capital, trade up, and grab one of them. But by the nature of this FO and Kyle, I doubt it. Kyle Shanahan has already experienced a fallout from a big trade of draft capital for a QB and having that player end up a bust. He knows it cost his dad a job, and he most likely won't rerun what may now seem a huge risk, because now it's Kyle's job that would be on the line. If the Niners address the QB position with an early pick in the 2021 draft, it's far more likely to be a mid to late round first or early second on Jones or Trask. You know what? There's not a lot of us going to be mad about that. We'd rather see the offensive line get it together than get a quarterback that's going to go out there and not do what Kyle says. Because here's the bottom line. Shanahan has been to 2 Super Bowls on his own. He lost them with come from behind defeats on both occasions. Now, Kyle's got to figure out what and why that continues to happen for a second time in a row. But he does score, and he scores pretty much at will. Not so much, though, he did better against the Patriots than he did. Though, in both occasions, and I do have to agree to a degree, and Denise, I'm not saying anything bad about Kyle because I worship the guy. In both occasions, though, Kyle just made one fatal error. He didn't know when to stop throwing. as I keep saying over and over, Debo had control of the Kansas City offense or defense. They could not stop him. When he came around that corner, most of them were either trying to catch him or slipping off of him. He decided to go aerial for reasons unknown. He may have saw something that you and I can never see. Against the Patriots, Kyle also chose to pass when he probably could have ran. Although Matty Ice started seeing ghosts at the end there and started throwing the ball and not trusting his own receivers. That was also documented. Who's at fault? Is it Shanahan, who probably should have ran that ball at just that one particular time, or was it Matty Ice? Ice and Shanahan to this day still don't appreciate each other for that reason. But you see the pattern. And Watson would most likely be fun to watch in San Francisco. Any of the top 4 draft prospects probably could as well. However, Kyle Shanahan would rather bet on himself, and you know this, and his system than swing for the fences and miss. He ain't going to do it, fam. He ain't going to do it. Kyle is set in his ways when it comes to this. Shanahan doesn't want a playmaker at quarterback as much as he wants a quarterback who can absorb the program, become one with Shanny's mind, and execute. With that said, that's why my question tonight is, what's Shanny going to do? Is Matt Stafford coming to San Francisco? It'll take a little bit of tutoring, and maybe Stafford's curve, he is an old dog. Can you teach him new tricks? Can he grasp quickly and get us back to the Super Bowl next year? Or does he break down and pick somebody in the draft that can push Jimmy as early as this season should Garoppolo go down? And could he be the quarterback of the future? You make the call. Hey, let me get up here and see what. Hey, SCERS 11. Thanks, fam. Is it too late for Joe Montana to unretire? Oh, Joe, or even Steve. Oh man. We got some other here. So I want to say thanks and contributions. Guys, I always love thank you for the contributions. Big Bradford says, in Ronbo we trust. Niners. Thanks, fam. And IR10033 1981. Thank you, fam. Texas. All right. And should we go here? Okay, we'll go here. Let's check out. Oh, is it Dollar? No. Is it Chill? Bill? Phil? Come on, Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Oh, Phil, man. It's off season, Phil. Here comes the pain.
Everybody's
What are we going through?
Again. I don't know what time of year makes everybody delusional.
It's going to get worse.
You know, I don't think giving up the 12th pick in the draft is worth Matthew Stafford. And I think you're giving up too much for Watson.
Whew, that three-way deal?
My take is,
oh, God.
My take is, you work with Jimmy's agent to get his cap number down. You get a good draft pick on the 12th. You fill your holes at offensive line and corner and safety, and you got too many needs. And so...
to make quarterback priority one. I was thinking the same thing, but these writers make it sound so juicy.
If you give up the 12th pick, you're automatically losing Jimmy for nothing because Jimmy's got a no trade contract. So you're going to have to cut him, eat the $2 million. You take on Stafford.
He would take
and
that
you
option.
lose your first-round pick. And you have to, and Detroit's going to have to make the trade before March because Stafford has a $10 million roster bonus due to him.
Really?
And Detroit doesn't want to eat that. So they're going to have to make the trade. And you're not going to be, and once you make that trade, Jimmy becomes zero value in the trade. Because everybody knows you're going to cut him because you can't take the cap on both Stafford and Jimmy.
Because he's got the no-trade clause. I forgot about that, Phil. He wants to go and be his own agent. He don't want the 49ers or anybody else to dictate what he's going to... Whoa, I forgot about that. Wow. So the 49ers, they get crippled in the process. They get Stafford, and they still end up paying a lot of money.
Exactly. And you lose your first pick in the draft, which is the 12th pick, which is
more
very
probably.
valuable. So, I'm just, I don't know. I'm just saying, you've got Jimmy. If you can get him 17 games without an injury, that's the key.
I know. They'd
And
be
then
back in the playoffs,
sign,
guaranteed, too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sign Trent Williams, and then you draft a right guard. You sign Mack. You put him in the center. You cut Richburg. You save yourself $8 million there. E. Ford, I think, is done. You might get some money out of there.
He may retire.
And where you get the money is not this year, because I think between Richburg and Ford, you only get $8 million total in cap space, because you draw the guaranteed money into that year. But next year you'll save $30 million, and
cap's can expand.
You can push out some of the contracts like Trent Williams to next year versus this year, and you make it a low cap number this year and get a high cap number next year. And so you're able to work these things out and sign, Verrett, Trent Williams, fill some holes. To me, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it going for a new quarterback at this time. And I don't know.
It's crazy. And Phil, we've not heard the best stuff yet. This is opening rounds of stuff. And you and I both know these things that people are talking about. The Lynch and Company are famous now for not letting a damn word get out until they want it to. That's why I always get a kick out of all these things up here.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No, Mark Espinosa. I did not say Matt Stafford was horrible. Guys, do me a favor on the chat. Don't quote me like that. Mark Espinosa, come on, give me a break. I never said Matt Stafford was horrible. Nobody said that. God damn it.
He's got injury problems, too. He's got 2 broken bones in his back. He's one hit away from, career ending. So, do you really want to take a risk on that? I mean, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I do not like to give up high draft capital. I just don't. I mean, you get a player that's really good if it's in the first 12 picks, and you get them for cheap for 5 years. So, I don't know. I just don't think it's too risky.
Yeah, and Lynch already said about his draft picks. Phil, if I were going to bet, my money would be on the 49ers actually draft down to gain more picks, because the 49ers, they're pretty good at picking out guys out of the draft. We've got lately, the first year was a disaster. These guys have gotten good since then.
To me, if all the corners and all the, you might be able to get one of those tackles. I don't know if Trent Williams is going to sign. You don't know that.
I know that's true.
That pick
he's going to get a lot of offers, Phil. Yeah. And I think Indy's going to be the first team, too. Phil, all right, we're going to go. Everybody wants to talk about how much they want to get rid of Jimmy. I'm not going to argue that. I'm just sitting here to listen. But your observation, I forgot about Jimmy's no-trade clause.
Ronbo, a year ago, we were totally different.
Yeah.
We were going to the Super Bowl, and everything was hunky-dory, and right now it's a disaster.
That is not. That was the Super Bowl then. Jimmy got hurt, and unconsequently, we ended up not going anywhere. But nobody sees that as big, missing Jimmy and get him back here, get him out of here, and get somebody else in here. Doesn't matter. All right, Phil. We'll see.
I know.
We'll see. See you Friday.
Okay.
All right, Phil.
Talk to you later.
I'm looking forward. All right. And Denise, I see you, Denise. Denise says, hey, he said, bravo! With the exclamation point, I agree. Kyle is far from perfect. He's a young coach, but I do believe with time he could be the next Bill Belichick. And I do too. I do believe in Kyle. I do see him as having to go through a certain process before he finally makes those right calls. Because he could have won both times, Mastro says, get ready to replace that Jimmy G poster. Put up 8. Mass, thanks for the contribution. We shall see. B. Ham.
From B's is what it is, man.
B. Ham, man, I'm telling you, man, I think we're going to have a lot of discussions. Some of the madness the reporters will be coming up with. I mean, Barnwell at ESPN, that boy is smoking some dope. I want to find out who sold him that stuff. Boy, he's got the
wouldn't be
49ers
this
getting rid of
time,
all
Ronbo.
kind of folks. Oh, and
It
Jad
would-
Clark can come over
it
and
would
help
be.
you pay for your bills.
Oh, man. Ronbo, I called one of my buddies the other day, and I told him he's from Pontiac, Detroit. I said, listen, man, we don't want Stafford. But then I got to thinking, Ronbo. I got to thinking. Jimmy do stay hurt.
Yeah, he gets hurt.
Everybody want to get rid of Jimmy. Nobody wants to put an offensive line in front of Jimmy. Nobody wants to get Jimmy no extra weapons. Just get him the hell out of town.
Yep, it's his fault. Yep.
It's
all
it's
him.
funny to me, but back to the Matthew Stafford situation. Goddamn, Rumbo, I think I'd rather have Matthew Stafford than you can get rid of Mullins. oh, colorblind Mullins. You know, Mullins will throw it to the opposing team, and ain't even nobody in a 49ers outfit on that side of the field. He throw it straight to it.
Oh, God.
And the other kid,
CJ.
the one who broke, man, he should just probably try to play tight end too, man. I don't.
Because CJ's tough. I mean, the dude blocks well. He laid dudes out. I forgot. Who was that?
Yeah.
Was that for it was for Jeffrey. Man, CJ's leading the blocks. I said, look at that's CJ.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's tough.
You can keep CJ. I wouldn't. I get rid of. Hey, we need a credible backup, and if us getting Matthew Stafford would be a credible backup, then hey, cool.
It's too expensive.
All this nonsense, man, about these guys being starters, man. I'm trying to understand what is our fan base looking at. I mean, we were just in the Super Bowl last year. We had a bad year this year. Sounds like what a lot of people want us to do is have a couple of more bad seasons, because pulling in somebody who has to learn Shanahan's system from the ground up.
You'll get an argument about that Beham all day. History's already shown. If Matt Ryan hated Kyle the first year, and he's every bit as much of a veteran as Stafford is, what if and Rodgers hated it when he was with LaFleur? Well, you're going to tell me Stafford's going to come and say, all right, I know how hard your system is, but forget it. I'm ready to go. I really want to see that. I hope he does, if he does. So,
no, man, I don't see nobody coming in learning this man's system. Only somebody that might do it would be Aaron Rodgers, because
he's learned.
He's already in a similar system. He just got to learn the verbiage, and you know what I'm saying. I don't know, Ronbo. I wouldn't give up too much for Matthew Stafford, even though he is a better quarterback than the other two bums that we have on the roster, other than Jimmy.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I believe Matthew Stafford's arm is stronger than Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
But, I mean, what the hell is arm strength when you don't have nobody that's going to stretch the field or go out there to go get it? I mean, we got to really sit back and think hard, man, at what we're saying we need to do. I don't think without all the injuries this year, barring all the injuries, I don't think we was that far off. Well, would we have made it back to the Super Bowl? Maybe not. But I think we would have made it to the playoffs at least.
No doubt. That team was too stacked, BM. Too much talent.
Yeah,
and
man.
they were polished. They just got through going through the playoffs and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They were ready to roll. Injuries took the 49ers down, not Jimmy G. That's why I'm always fussing.
Not Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, I mean, at least to me, Jimmy G showed some kind of resilience. So, warrior in him. The man went out there. Well, I forgot the game where he got hurt, where his leg was messed up. They pulled him out the game. Then they put him back in the game right before half. He drove us down the field and scored a touchdown, and then they pulled him out. You feel me? So, I mean, this man, he knows the system. Sometimes he do make some bonehead picks, but hell, Tom Brady threw 3 of them the other day.
I know. And Aaron Rodgers, what was Rodgers doing? That's why I say I look at Tom Brady and Aaron. Why didn't Rodgers just trot that ball in? He couldn't score.
Listen,
and nobody cares.
Listen. Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers had a bit of the San Francisco 49ers line. That's what happened when you don't have nobody to protect your quarterback. His 2 players got injured. I think his left tackle was Bakhtiari. He was out, and the right tackle just kept getting beat. So when you're under duress and you don't have no one to block in front of you, that's the results you get.
And every time.
Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, but look at how they blitzed him because they know he didn't have his
protection.
His lineman in front of him. Come on, man. We got to think, man.
It's not. No, there's a large percentage that just want him gone. So it's going to be like that. We'll see. It's going to come down to Shanahan's decision on this, though. B-Ham, always good to hear from you, man. I haven't heard from you in weeks. Good to hear from you. Feeling all right.
Man, same here, man. How you been, though?
Oh, awesome. I'm feeling great. But tell you what, B-Ham, don't get back in here Friday and let's continue. I need some alliances. I'm surrounded by some hostiles, boy.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing before I go, Ronbo. Now, a lot of these people is asking for Jimmy gone, but be careful what you ask for. At least with Jimmy, you know you can make the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That has been proven.
That's true.
Without Jimmy, the most games Kyle Shanahan can win at San Francisco has been 6 in a season. So be mindful of that. Be mindful.
We got to go, fam. I agree with you. I'll see you Friday, all right?
All right, man. I'll holler back at you, man. Be safe out there, bro.
Looking forward. Night, fam.
All right.
Oh, God. All right, and we got, big boys climb on big rig. Off-season is silly season. My head's spinning. Gee, man, what's wrong with ain't nothing wrong with that poster trade, man. Poster ain't faded. It's still bright red and gold. Jesus!
Yo, Ronbo.
Jesus, man.
Damn, you're already laughing before I get up in here?
Because the trade deals are going down, man. I'm telling you. And all these writers, they got everything all figured out. But Jesus, actually, Stafford, I do understand that he is a Shanahan quarterback. Deshaun Watson is probably still not what Kyle Shanahan would go after, especially for the kind of things. I mean, nobody's going to give up that kind of capital. That's just too much for a team that's out of money, Super Bowl ready. We need to get draft picks to fill the voids of the guys we're not going to be able to pay. So giving up a whole boatload of picks, that's not going to happen. But, Stafford, do you want Stafford? According to Grant Cohn, the deal is damn near as good as done.
First, I got to give out my shout out.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Eddie E, my homie Tommy Helix, my homie for Kobe, my homie Chad Garrison, the homie Josh One. He came back. He told me to tell y'all that Matthew Stafford will not be our quarterback because Jimmy G doesn't have a trade clause in his contract. That's what he told me to tell you guys.
I forgot all about that. So Jimmy can just say, okay, guys, well, I'm not going to Detroit, but I will wish you the best of luck and thanks for my time here, and I'm out of here. And that would be the end of that. So the 49ers would end up erasing Jimmy off the books, and then he just have to pay Stafford. And that's why I said, they don't get anything for Jimmy, which is unfortunate because Jimmy's worth, contrary to what 49er fans think, there's a few places Jimmy could probably go. If the 49ers offered Jimmy up for a trade, you would see people asking for him, especially if you got a good offensive line. Because Jimmy, he can cut up a field like a surgeon if you protect him. And that's the truth. But
Jimmy
that's neither
can be
here nor
traded.
there.
He just has to. Jimmy can be traded. He just has to agree to it, though.
Well, yeah. I know. Is that Jesus? Yeah, no, but why would, just like Phil said, why would Jimmy agree to a trade? He'd rather be his own agent. He can go wherever he wants to go. Yeah. Jesus, go ahead. That wasn't Jesus. Jesus, you there?
Yeah, okay.
I don't want Matthew Stafford. To be honest with you, he hasn't proven anything. A real quarterback takes their team to the playoffs without any big name talent on their offense. You know, he had Megatron and he still didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I'm iffy on Matthew Stafford. I'm iffy on Matthew Stafford. To me, it's the same thing as keeping Jimmy G, and we just wasted a draft pick.
I know. I just.
It's the same difference to me. The way how I see it, it's the same difference. I'd rather keep Jimmy G or get a quarterback in the first round. But Matthew Stafford hasn't done anything in his career. He has no playoff wins. He's 32 years old. He doesn't have a playoff win under his belt. Like, how many times has he been to playoffs? You guys gonna name his stats, but what does he have under his resume?
How many years has he been playing?
I'm only spitting facts. You know, you can have the best stats. You can have the best stats all you want, but wins matter more than stats. If you ain't winning anything, you ain't done nothing in your career. It's facts. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy G has accomplished more in Matthew Stafford's career. Period. You know, and I'm not even a Jimmy G guy.
Stafford only had Megatron, and that's
Will, please wait. Will, we I know you disagree. Give it a minute. We'll be right there. All right, go ahead.
if Stafford had IU, Debo, and all the other guys, he'll be a better quarterback.
Okay.
Stop it.
All right, Will,
Just
please.
stop it, bro.
Will, don't do that. Will, please, fam. Come on now. We normally keep things in order and fair around here. Let the man talk. All right, go ahead, Jesus.
I'm just speaking like how I see it. People are going to disagree
and you're
with me.
allowed
I
to.
don't care.
Go ahead. It's fine.
And I don't care. We all have our opinions. Bro. You know what I'm saying? My facts might be weak, but, bro, I'm speaking it like how I see it. Matthew Stafford hasn't even taken the division since Aaron Rodgers has been the starter. What has Matthew Stafford accomplished? What has Matthew Stafford accomplished? Can anyone tell me that? You know? How many playoff games does he have? Jimmy G at least has 2 wins under his belt because of our defense. And I'm not even a Jimmy G guy, but I'd rather have Jimmy G that knows our system than bring in Matthew Stafford. I don't care. You guys can trash me. I don't care. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I keep it 100 when I see shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't care the guy. You know what I'm saying? Will, you know, I respect that you have your opinion, but I have mine too. You know? But like I said, I'd rather draft a quarterback in the first round than give up draft capital to get Matthew Stafford that hasn't done anything. He's injury prone too.
Well, it's so funny though. You do bring up something interesting with the comparison and who's made it to where. But you know what? It's interesting how people will immediately say Megatron is one thing, but if Stafford had Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle, well, the fact of the matter is, Jimmy had Debo, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, and Sanders, and went to the Super Bowl. So I don't know that it's really fair to decide that Matthew Stafford could come in and do what Jimmy couldn't do. Jimmy went all the way to the end with a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl. So that's why I defend him, because I think it's unfair to decide, well, if he had Jimmy's weapons, Jimmy just now got a really set of 3 solid weapons. One was a rookie. He's no longer. Debo's now going to be a force in the NFL. And Ayuk has came in damn near polished. I expect good things from him. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, now you decide Jimmy's going to leave. Now that there's 3 legit weapons out there, I'm with you on that. I don't think that's fair in any way. And if Jimmy's got a problem, it's getting injured. But don't tell me with his stats that he sucks. That is bullshit. And I don't mind saying it. It is bullshit. You hate him because he gets hurt. But don't give me this he can't play ball or he can't. And you guys just said, he can't cut up. You've seen him do it. Threaded his tight windows and everything else. But you hate him, so you deny it. And that's on you. I'm just telling the truth. So,
Matthew Stafford, Ronbo. If we get Matthew Stafford, the same people that saying trade Jimmy G right now or cut Jimmy G will be saying let go Matthew Stafford.
True. It's just
you know what I'm saying?
It's a vicious circle. It's going to go around. Matthew Stafford doesn't do it. Yeah.
That's facts right there. That's facts right there. If Matthew Stafford comes to the Niners and you don't do.
All right, Jesus, we had to go. Guys, sometimes if we go way over, you're probably going to get cut. But anyway, Jesus, I'll see you Friday. All right. Listen, that's what. And there's that other argument I love. Put Jimmy on Detroit, and they'll be 0-16 for sure. Well, see, this is again, how do you prove that, though? No more than you can prove that Matthew Stafford will do well in San Francisco. It's a double-edged sword. And there's Tony says, people brought their fifis tonight. You can always tell who's on what side, regardless of the facts. I hate that guy. Get him out of here. Jim Realistic says, wait, draft looks scary for the 49ers, but in a good way. Jay Realistic, thanks, fam. Tony, come in and weigh in on the situation. How you doing, fam?
Woo! Oh, boy, Ronbo, we got a live one today. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all sorts of consternation. Jimmy G. I mean, I love Jimmy G. I do love Jimmy G. But, Matthew Stafford would be also a lot of fun to watch in a red and gold uniform. And he as you said, Ronbo, he also fits that Kyle Shanahan offense.
Yeah,
and the other thing I am seeing around Twitter is two things. So I guess Mike Florio for Pro Football Talk wrote a piece saying that the Lions leaked that all the teams were interested in Stafford, but that I guess isn't bearing out to be the case. And then a little bit later, Javier Vega, who has, I guess, an inside source maybe with the Lions organization, is saying that we might be able to get Stafford for a 2022 first-round draft pick and a 2021 second-day pick. So
wait, Tony, who's that coming from? Who said that?
Javier Vega on Twitter, who's been covering the story, who's been on this for a few weeks, just officially as a reporter, but today has had some interesting insights into the whole thing. And so he was saying
that's all it would cost.
That's what Javier Vega says. So
okay.
If that materializes and we're giving up number 32 next year and then a second or third round pick this year for Stafford, I think you pull the trigger on that deal.
Yeah, they probably would.
Yeah, and then to answer your question, though, what do the 49ers do at quarterback? In that scenario, you trade Jimmy G to the Patriots or the Bears or the Colts.
Or to get something in return. Because he'd
get something in return. Yeah, because he would want to go to one of those franchises, I think. And then what you do is, depending on which pick you give up to get him in the, which second day pick, I think you target a guy in the second or the third round because Stafford's got 2 years left on his contract to begin with. So just look at, and he's cheaper than Jimmy G even now with his current contract. And so you set him up. You set up the 49ers for the 2023 season by drafting another quarterback as well this year and getting that person ready for 2023. At least I think that's the best way you set it up. And plus the Niners have 11 draft picks in 2021 to use. So there's plenty of flexibility to go around there, but it's what a day. And it's every day the draft gets closer, it's going to get more and more interesting, I think. But how do you feel about all this?
And Tony, I probably don't have Stafford's not a untalented quarterback. Mm-hmm. I just don't. If we go through week one and we're seeing a lot of things that you expect from a guy that's just coming in trying to grasp Shanahan's system, and they're missing the chemistry's not there yet. The ball's either behind or out in front of the receiver, or a lot of other things that go on that it's going to take Stafford a minute to get this down.
Yeah.
And we're like in week 7, week 8. So the 49ers are in a must-win situation as they are now this. And the Rams seem to be having a good year this year. So the 49ers, with their new quarterback, Matthew Stafford, have got to catch fire in the last few games in order to make a wild card spot. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
This is what
I hear
bothers
you.
me because I know if Jimmy's healthy next year, the 49ers go right back to the playoffs, and there's no doubt about it. This is the only
Yeah.
thing that scares me. But if Stafford can catch on quickly, I don't care. I just want the team to excel, you know.
No, I 100% agree with you, Ronbo. And here's my thinking about that is, I guess the line of thinking was Matt Ryan took a long time to learn Shanahan's system, but I honestly think that if given a full OTAs, mini camp, and training camp, a full offensive install in training camp with a starting quarterback, that any professional quarterback in the NFL is expected to learn the offense in that training camp. So if he is showing those weaknesses in week one, there's something wrong with the coaching or there's something wrong with the quarterback in that case. And looking back on the fact that the Niners have reacquired Rich Scangrello, who Jimmy G credited as being able to, to help acclimate him to the offense when we first traded for him. Because Jimmy sat for 4 or 5 weeks when we first traded for him and then came out and had that 5-game winning streak. So I think all the signs are, if the 49ers don't get screwed by COVID again and we're allowed to have, if the NFL is allowed to have a full offseason schedule, I don't think there's any reason to doubt that Stafford, being 32 years old, having played in the league this long with inferior talent, isn't going to be able to pick up the offense given a full offseason schedule. So I don't necessarily buy into it taking too long or it taking more than a season for a quarterback. And the Niners, by the way, if they get Stafford, are definitely in win now mode. So
that's my whole thing right there. These guys are ready to win now. We're not in rebuild. We're not anything else. We're just having a quarterback that can't stay up. So if Stafford can come in, he could grasp this thing and get that, because that's the taste that Jimmy and the guys already got this down. They hit the ground running next year if Jimmy stays up. So Stafford, I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see.
And that's my last point I want to make. I don't have to go, Ronbo. What will a Jimmy trade do to the 49ers locker room? So we lost to Forrest Buckner and Joe Staley last year. And if they were to trade Jimmy G, even if it is an upgrade, I do worry about Kyle and John's ability to keep that locker room happy, because the players do love Jimmy. And so that would be the next thing I would be curious about. But we're not John Lynch and we're not Kyle Shanahan. We're not Parag Marathe. We are not the ones making these decisions. We are just fans. And so we want what's best for the team. And Stafford, from a talent POV, is an upgrade over Jimmy. But what are the trickle down effects that are going to happen as a result of that? So, we're going
to end up having a discussion on that probably sometime soon. Tony, great stuff as per usual. I shall see you this weekend if you get time. Always love you.
Sounds good, Ronbo. Aloha. Take care of yourself, buddy.
Aloha. You too, fam. All right. There's more variables, I tell you, man. Stefan Music Hunt. Anyway, it's gonna be interesting to see. Well, I tell you, this whole thing's gonna heat up in the next few days too. Oh yeah, Barack O'Niner. If Niners listened to the fans, Young would have been gone. I know, it's like patience is not a virtue. Well, probably of any fan base, but we're especially serious about that. Daniel Serrano says, hey, Rumbo, FYI, naming my newborn Ronbo or Rumbolina. Congratulations on the newborn. All right. Hey, I'll be honored. Big Boys, come on, Big Ren says, hey, I think if Jimmy agrees to a trade, his money is guaranteed for that year. If he goes as a free agent, there's no guarantees. You know what happens, though, big boy? As soon as his agent finds out, he goes to work immediately to find out where they can set Jimmy up. And then if that doesn't bear fruit, he'll come back and say, all right, because I'm not doing it to Detroit, where else can we end up going? And then if Belichick's in the event, Jimmy go there back in there in a heartbeat, I got a feeling. Because now that Tom's gone, it's his team. And, Barack O'Neill said, hey, thank you, Lord Jesus. Big Show is not out. Our GM. Dre, Phantom, come on in, fam.
Ronbo.
Dre. Well, Dre, it's that time of year when we start. Actually, it's funny. I think this is like 1, 2, 3. How many years in a row have we been looking for and getting rid of quarterbacks? There's got to be at least a third year in a row. Before Jimmy came,
Yeah.
more than that. Before Jimmy came and after he got here, and now riding him out on the back of an ass, tar and feathers. Come on, Jimmy, get your Super Bowl ass out of here. So I'm amused, bothered to a degree, but I wish you could have stayed healthy, and then we wouldn't even have this conversation. But Drake, what are your feelings on all this madness?
It's tough, Ronbo, because I like Jimmy. I got his jersey, but I've been frustrated with him getting injured, and I know there's a lot of factors that go into that with the offensive line, but you can also pick at his game too, with certain plays and just his IQ with certain things. I think if he's healthy, he probably can be serviceable. But I think given the fact of how much quarterback movement is going on this year, we have to take a look at it. I think we have to take a look at it. And, Stafford is enticing, and I know there's the learning curve, but it's like, do we really think Jimmy is the quarterback of the future for the Niners? And right now, I first I was thinking that, but as we stand now, I'm just a little bit in doubt, and it's just like, how long do we go with giving him excuses and chances before we have a chance to potentially get somebody else, in here? I'm all for it if he can stay healthy and and get going, but because of the potential of trades and I think they said 15 starting quarterbacks may be moved around this season. I think we got to take a look at it.
15? I didn't know about it. Wow.
I think they. I could be wrong, but I think it's like 15.
I guess you only hear about certain the ones with the big stats, though. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know, Ronbo. I'm just ready to see
the 49ers
back
are going to
on
be.
track.
They're going to be in conversations. I suspect they won't get into a bidding war. If they can win with an offer, they can deal with, because it's going to have to be an offer that's going to be comfortable for them. Because the 49ers are in a position where, unlike a lot of us think, they're not desperate for a quarterback. But if they can make an upgrade for Jimmy and not cripple their future as far as draft picks go, they'll go for it. Especially if it's an upgrade. And Matthew Stafford is an upgrade over Jimmy, because and for no other reason other his experience in the league, having been through it all and compiled a lot of stats. So, yeah, he can come in. Yeah, so it's bigger.
Definitely. And what do you think is going on with Jimmy's morale right now? He's got to hear all of this stuff that's going on.
As a professional, I think all these guys know that it's possible to be gone. Very friend of mine, you look at like next year. Now, this year we had all of our primetime players went down and missed games this year. So what's going to end up happening if Jimmy leaves, then Kittle's going to wonder how much time he's got, because Kittle's going to miss a certain amount of time every year. Mostert's going to miss a certain time. The year he stayed out there, actually that 2019 year was kind of the outlier. It was the unusual, where all of our guys stayed on the field most of the time. Even George went down that year, but he didn't go out all year, right? Joe Staley went down. McGlinchey was down. We've had a number of guys who were always injured the whole time. But the quarterback position, you can't have that. And I understand that.
Right.
As far as a fan thinking. So if Jimmy's going to go down and our team looks completely useless unless he's out there, of course, then the spotlight's going to go away from his ability to lead the team into somebody who can come in and they think is going to be as good as Jimmy and stay upright. So it's a rock and a hard place. And then we have to hope that Stafford doesn't come in and get taken out from day one, because it's possible, contrary to what people believe, no matter who you are, you could get taken out. So if this is the case, then this is why I'm pretty sure CJ or Nick stays with the 49ers, because Shanahan's not going to have Stafford and a draft pick or whatever they're going to do to back Stafford up. Shanahan is not about to pick up a quarterback in the draft and say, okay, I got two students here that got to learn this offense. CJ or Nick or both.
That's true.
end up staying.
Yeah. That's true. I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
That's definitely how it has to be the case. Or see if Hoyer will come back. But you got to have somebody who can run the offense and knows what Shanahan's cooking, or else, we'd be in danger. Could you imagine Stafford goes down in like week 3? And then, oh, Jesus. All right. Trask, you're up. What?
Right.
Come here, kid. Let me talk to you. Calm down. You know, you can do this. So that's what's going to end up happening there. And they probably got it all figured out, though. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure they've turned every rock. I'm sure, but yeah, like you said, we'll see. Do you remember the report that came out in the season though that it was possible? Light whispers. Don't quote me on it verbatim, but light whispers that the receivers were frustrated with quarterback play.
No, they said that earlier in the season,
and I don't know if that. Right. I don't know if that necessarily meant it was directed towards Jimmy specifically, or just all the quarterback play.
It was Nick. It was Nick because Jimmy was always sitting down.
Okay.
Well, I remember they did that. Said that. All right, Trey, we gotta go though, fam. Let me see you Friday if you get a shot. All right.
You got it for sure.
All right, fam. Night.
All right, peace.
Mastro says, I love Brittle G too, fam. Them injuries are killing us. Yeah, I know. Next guy we get better be like Hawk. Hey, what's the guy the X-Men with the claws? He's got to have his body's got to be made out of that same stuff. Rebel D says, "Get Jimmy a damn old line, haters." Thanks, Rebel D, for the contribution. And SIG, how do I pronounce that? CG. CG says, "I like Jimmy G, but he gets very jittery with pressure. We have all seen it. Good quarterbacks strive under pressure. They keep their composure and find the open man." Oh yeah, thanks for the contribution. Well, that's true. I do feel sorry for Jimmy though. When you got a torn ACL, just getting over it, you don't want anybody hitting it, and that offensive line is opening up the gates of hell. That's got to be scary. But you know, it's his job. Hey, Tom.
What's up, Ronbo?
Tom, man, we're watching Matthew Stafford, and from what Tony just said, the asking price isn't too big. That could mean the 49ers almost have to bite for financial reasons, if nothing else.
Yeah. I think I stole my
my info. You know about that too?
We don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to give up a first. Well, that's what they're trying to avoid that. Mm-hmm. So maybe first next year, and then a second and a third from this year. I'm not sure.
Also,
that's what I heard.
Yeah. Also, that report, the beginning, they said a third of the league's teams are asking for Stafford. Another report came in and said the pursuit for Stafford wasn't as big as was expected. I don't know which one's telling the truth.
Wow. Yeah,
but that could explain why a first round pick next year, a second round pick now.
Yeah, because we need.
Yeah, because they want to get rid of him.
Yeah, I think so. Who?
Yeah, they want to get rid of him.
They want to get rid of who?
Well, Stafford. They got to get rid of Stafford because Stafford's already said, "Look, I gotta go."
Oh yeah,
of
course.
And so they can't.
He wants to go,
or else he just leaves and they can't get nothing. So they got to bring their offer down, and that would explain.
Yeah.
That would probably justify.
Definitely.
There's not that big of a response for Stafford. That makes sense.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to 49er Empire. I agree. I don't know. I love the guy, but I don't agree with some of the stuff he's saying. But like Stafford is trash. I mean, yeah, he's been on a trash team. Yeah. And the guy's got a rocket arm. I mean, way better than Jimmy. And I don't understand. No, Jesus didn't say this, but someone's like, it's going to take him a while to figure out the Shanahan's offense. It's not that complicated. It's not rocket science. And the guy's been in the league 11 years. I mean, there's no way it's going to be a learning curve.
Hopefully.
Even though he's been in a different system.
Mm. Well, just going by what Rodgers didn't enjoy it. But he did finally get it, though, when LaFleur first got there. In fact, they had a falling out about it, right? Matt Ryan is the most famous case. It took Matty, but it could be their learning curves. You know, maybe Stafford has a huge. I mean, the guy's like brilliant, right? So he comes in because it's not easy. Otherwise, those guys would have came in and picked it up right away. We'd have never heard anything through the media. So it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute, but hopefully not long.
Yeah, I agree. But give this guy a running game. I mean, Matt Stafford's never had a running game, and give him a running game, the sky's the limit.
It's interesting why they've never had any running backs in Detroit, which is strange. They had one of the greatest running backs of all time a long time ago.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame. But I don't know why they never thought about getting him a running back.
Barry.
Yeah. Makes no sense. You would think with a tradition like that, they would continue that tradition and always find a running back.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry that Jesus got cut off. I don't know. What was that about?
Well, no, we everybody's running overtime. If we go overtime, we got a lot of people backed up. We'll be here for 6 hours.
Oh.
So that's all we got to keep people down to a certain amount of time. Hopefully everybody understands that. So when I say we're out of time, production's looking at me like fire coming out of their eyes. I got to go. But anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, Tom, anything else you want to extend upon the advantages and the disadvantages?
I mean, yeah. I guess there's nothing really to add except what if he gets injured too, because he's injury prone. But
that's why I said CJ.
And he's not injury prone.
Yeah.
He's not injury prone. He's had a lot of injuries, but he actually plays through injuries. I guess he had that dislocated shoulder.
Tony Romo
played through that.
Yeah.
And I think one of the last callers said that he's worried about the locker room. I think there's people that are down that they would love to play for Stafford, and I hear he's great in the locker room, but that doesn't really explain if there's alliances or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, though, you can't expect the 49ers to say, okay, no problem, right away. It's going to take, like you're saying, Stafford's going to have to come in, develop a vibe, because George Kittle really going to take it hard. Debo and Mostert went hard for him last year when people went after Jimmy. Mostert was all over him. Juice, these guys are up in the media's face hardcore. So these guys, it's like a mob leader. You kill one guy and the next guy in line takes up and everybody's, dude, I don't even like you, man. So it's got to be that kind of thing. But Stafford, he's just got to show them we can win with him and they'll be fine. They're professionals.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have Rodgers, but the guy's a diva and we can't afford him. It's probably going to take two first rounders.
Yeah. Rodgers is, by the way, Tom, we got to go. Trust me, Rodgers isn't going anywhere. Neither is Deshaun Watson. Stafford, he's going somewhere because he's already made it clear. Both him and the organization said, we're done. Yeah. So,
But in closing, I'd be good with keeping either one. I mean, if they want to upgrade, that's fine. He's not much of he is an upgrade. He has a better arm. That's it.
All right, Tom. I'll see you Friday. I agree.
All right. Well, take care.
You too.
Niners all day, baby.
Yeah. And Ramsey loaded and ready to roll says Goff has issues, but leads Ram past Seahawks in the playoffs in Seattle with screws in his thumb. Meanwhile, Jimmy gets a hangnail and is out 5 games. Thanks, Rams fan. Yeah, good on you. What happened the following week, though? Hey, Shay.
What's up, Ronbo?
Hey, Shay. You may get your wish. It could be Stafford.
I said, like I said 2 days ago, I said 55% chance. It's looking even more now.
Especially since they're not going to charge as much. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you from Javier Veiga. Javier Veiga is a very credible source. He has his credentials. He's definitely part of the press team. He's in the Senior Bowl. You don't get to go to the Senior Bowl unless you have credentials. So his word, I would take it. I mean, and the same thing with Grant Cohn. I know people want to come on here and clown Grant. Yeah, sometimes he says some outlandish things, but Grant has been right. Listen, he called the Kittle contract and he called the extension 2 days before it was put in stone. Yeah, he was wrong a little bit about the numbers, but I mean, he got it. He called it. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that this isn't coming out of the Niners front office. It's most likely coming out the Lions. And if you put two and two together, right, it just makes sense. Well, if they're saying, well, they didn't get the offers they expected, well, okay, then so why wouldn't you start releasing, information about, well, how much where around are the 49ers? Well, how much is the compensation for the draft picks? Like, how much are they looking at? What are they looking at? So other teams can be like, oh, really? That's how much? Okay, well, let's call and inquire about it again so they can get the bid up. It makes perfect sense. Why the Lions would release this type of information. And it's the same thing, too. They had already come out saying, well, we're mutually parting ways. And, once they saw, what's his name, Dan Campbell, whatever, the kneecap guy who's going to bite your knee off or whatever, I mean, they've made it intimate that they're going to go for a rebuild. They're rebuilding. This is a rebuilding organization. Stafford obviously wants to win now.
They're always
Niners are one of the best teams. Colts are one of the best teams. Who else? Broncos. So it just, I mean, like I said, it just made too much sense.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, for the cap situations, it aligns perfectly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Sometimes things
the bottom
have to
line
align
right
perfectly,
there.
and this does.
Financial
right.
reasons.
It just makes sense, right? The cap situation is better for us for this year to resign a lot of the free agents, and also to, it to me, I wouldn't say it's an extreme upgrade, but it's a substantial amount of an upgrade that Stafford is just better than Jimmy. Wherever you want to have him 4 or 5 ranks higher, whatever, he's better, and no one's going to argue that. So, to me, it just makes perfect sense, and I think it does to John Lynch, and I think that's why they're going to pull the trigger. I'll be really shocked if Jimmy is under center, and if he is, then they're rocking with him. And I wouldn't be surprised because John Lynch has done this countless of times where he's like, oh, well, we looked into it, we looked into these things, and we're just not going to go that route. We just feel that this is our guy, and this is why we stuck with him. But I mean, like I said, I'm more than faithful. I mean, I would say that, like, I think it's more coming into fruition that this might actually happen where they're going to get Stafford. Just because of all the words and not even beat writers or Bay Area beat writers talking about it. You got the Lions guys releasing it, talking about first round destination, and also too Vegas. I mean, Vegas has the Niners as the number 1 odds now. It's by significant. I think we're plus 125. We were like 380 behind, I think, Broncos or the Colts, and now we're number 1. We're like 125, and the Colts are like 325 or something. So it just feels like a deal's almost imminent that, and what they do with Jimmy, I mean, maybe they try to do a 3-way trade with the Patriots or the Colts because, I mean, there's been reports saying that when they were discussing the Buckner trade, Jimmy's name came up in that trade.
But you notice the word coming up was the word was briefly. It was probably.
Oh yeah, it was briefly. I mean, they said something and they shot it down like, well, we don't even have a replacement for Jimmy G, so no, I don't think that can happen. But it's like almost like the Colts were like, well, we'll rock with Jimmy if you guys don't feel like he's the guy over there in SF. So, like I said, it's just a situation to watch. But I think that if the Niners can retain the 12th pick, I think the Niners get to eat their cake and their ice cream at the same time.
It's not so expensive then. It's gonna be interesting though.
Scenario.
What happens to Jimmy, because he does have that no trade clause now? Do they just cut Jimmy and he goes wherever he pleases, or do they get something in exchange for him?
Well, yeah, I think that's why this deal might take some time. Simply due to the fact that we have to find the moving parts for Jimmy if Jimmy wants to go there. Now, I think Jimmy could possibly go to the Colts, be reunited with DeForest, right? And then, they have a good team. They got a solid defense. They got a good O-line over there. I mean, you got Quentin Nelson. I know they lost their left tackle, but they could try to get their left tackle and, and they could just try to rock out with Jimmy. I mean, I would probably say they would have to draft wide receiver, a couple weapons for him, but they have a good run game. They're a run-first team.
They probably call Belichick first.
Yeah, that's another option too. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Jimmy. Jimmy has no. Of course he has. Everybody wants. I promise you, he probably wants to go back to the Patriots.
Bill
Belichick organization.
He can end up in any number of places because GMs are going to look at his talent level. They're not going to look at the fact that he gets hurt. They're going to look at his talent level, and Jimmy's nowhere near as bad as some people say he is. So that's why he can find a place.
No, listen. I don't think I've ever said it, and if I did, then correct me. I'm mistaken, but I'm not calling Jimmy G trash. I said this time and time again. Jimmy G's an average quarterback. He's not trash. Yes, he does get injured a lot, but he's average. Like, he goes out there, he's average. He's middle of the pack.
Trey,
you know what I mean?
And Shay, I just want to. We got to go, but Shay, listen. I think average is probably premature. That's why I keep telling people after one full year, everybody's decided he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. How do you know? And that'll be a subject for another day, though, because we're going to find out down the years ahead when he puts in some time in the league. I think you get a better idea of who he is with a bigger sample. But that's just me. Anyway.
Yeah, Ronbo. I mean, he's 30 throwing at linebackers, though, Ronbo. And we're like, how many times do you have those dumb picks?
When you're 30 and only played one year.
Ronbo, we all agree that there's at least one pick a game, right? Like, we'll be like, well, he'll have that one bad throw. It's like, well, when are we going to stop having that one bad throw? But all right, Ronbo, shout out to my TNT brothers. They know who they are. TNT, Ronbo, you have a great night, brother.
All right.
Take it
You too, sir.
God bless.
Right. And by the way, I'm never going to get off of that. Everybody has decided who Jimmy G is after one full season, 30 years old or not. No way you can tell what he's going to be like after one full season. That's it. That's the truth. Hey, John.
Ronbo.
John, you. It seems, and there's one thing that's true. You got a situation here where Detroit and Stafford have made it clear. So there's no need of rumor or leaks or anything like that. They can just tell it like it is now. They've already said, hey, we're parting ways. So, is Stafford on his way to San Francisco now that everybody's all pumped up and ready to go? It's like, the fan base would crumble a big percentage of it if Stafford didn't come to San Francisco. Are you going to be okay if he does or doesn't? He is a Kyle Shanahan quarterback.
Well, there's three things when it comes to the Stafford. The Colts, Frank Wright, basically, inside sources, people around him, he wants them in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so I heard about them
and
too.
The reason why, because Frank Wright was the quarterback coach when the Philadelphia Eagles went to the Super Bowl. Josh McDaniels, he screwed, Indianapolis, and Frank Wright took his staff, and look what he's been able to do with Jacoby Brissett and Phillip Rivers. I would not be surprised if he goes to Indianapolis. When it comes to San Francisco, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to work in San Francisco. There was a caller who said Matthew Stafford, I don't know if he said he was weak, but Detroit never gave him a run game. He had 2 seasons where he threw like 690 and 730 passes.
Damn.
He had Calvin Johnson. But just because you have one, receiver does not mean it's going to be the quarterback and the receiver. Their defense for so many years was garbage. And a good coach who's been a good coach, I'm not sure why he's not an NFL coach, is Caldwell. Caldwell made that team for those 4 years. 4 years, they went to the playoffs twice in 4 years, and they canned him. And he had his best passing numbers, passing percentage. So when he comes to San Francisco, I think he will understand that Shanahan system. He's going to have running backs. They'll fix the offensive line. He's going to have multiple weapons and a good blocking and receiving tight end. Our defense is pretty good. So I believe that Stafford is a quarterback, even though I don't like quarterbacks who are over 30 to come to a team. I like, a quarterback to develop and go for like 10 to 15 years. But for the short term, as I mentioned last time I called you, it's Super Bowl right now for the 49ers. And then the third thing when it comes to all these quarterbacks, it's so funny. Like, Aaron Rodgers was talking to Pat McAfee, and he was saying to him more than all the other reporters in Green Bay. He says, I want to stay in Green Bay, but I'm showing my frustration with Matt LaFleur and the ownership group that run that organization.
Right.
So basically, Rodgers is saying
I'm not leaving.
So when it comes to so basically, at the end of the day, the only free agent quarterback I'm comfortable, before I was saying no, I think Matthew Stafford can work because he will have a good run game. He will get good receivers, and Shanahan is a good offensive guy. Don't be surprised. And if Jimmy Garoppolo does leave, I think there's now a bigger market, Indianapolis, Chicago, New England. So at the end of the day, I think the 49ers should look at this through, because it's just like the Tom Brady thing last year. We're going to look at it, you know. They looked at it, but they said, oh, we feel that Jimmy Garoppolo is younger and he can go for a longer period. So that's when it comes to the quarterback situation.
Yeah, no doubt. The 49ers, they're going to look at every deal that's out there that's worth, if it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. And if they look at it that way, like they've always checked into these things. So, yeah, they're looking. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, so I'm not worried. Plus, at the end of the day, like I don't gamble, but I'm gambling that Jimmy Garoppolo week 1 is going to be under center, whoever, because that's more realistically. Because at the end of the day, the Lions they want to get the value. There was a report saying we want fair market value when it comes to Matthew Stafford. They didn't say it was a first round pick. They didn't say it was a first round pick next year. They want full market value. So that's another problem. Teams don't know what to give Matthew Stafford because the Lions are being very cryptic.
It's going to come down to a bidding war, too. That's a good point, John. So the 49ers say, well, we don't have a problem with the next year's the first round, second round. Anyway, next year is something that people don't worry about, right? So but if somebody else says, listen, what the 49ers giving you? Well, they went with our initial offer. How about a first rounder this year? And then all of a sudden, because you know who's more desperate than the 49ers? I know 49er fans, a lot of them won't agree with it, but just like you mentioned, Indianapolis, they don't have anybody now. Bissett's a free agent too, isn't he? I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And basically, they have.
And what's the name retired?
In March, they're not. So in March, they're not going to have a quarterback.
Right. So they don't have time to argue. So, they could just say, okay, listen, we'll give you this. And because they're also a Super Bowl ready team.
Yeah, they have a really good defense because now, before Buckner went over there, with Buckner, he had a great year with all those great, linebackers and defensive guys. And then their secondary, I did not know what was really good. They just need a quarterback. So the Colts are going to be basically the team.
John, is all our conversations between now and the season may be long. We got to stop here. I'll see you Friday. All right?
All right, Ronbo. Thanks for the platform all the time.
It's always a pleasure.
We may all disagree, but guess what? This is Niners, and we love this team.
Yes.
Yes, right. We're family.
Right,
Niners.
Night, John. And Dustin, come on in. Give us 2 cents. Was that Dustin?
Yo, what's good, man?
Dustin, it's the QB wars as they continue. They will continue until April. Hey, when is the free agency period over? We'll know that. I think we got another month or so to go to argue. And but Matthew Stafford, I was going to see Matthew Stafford wearing a 49er uniform in the days ahead.
Yeah, look nice. But I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? Too early to tell.
Yeah. You people keep bringing points up. Okay, I forgot. Phil says the no trade clause says Jimmy can say 49ers, nah, I don't want to go there. I'm out of here. Or then you just heard about Indianapolis has nobody to quarterback next year. They've got to find a quarterback. In fact, Indianapolis is seriously in trouble if they don't do something quick. So there is going to be competition. Will the 49ers get into a bidding war with any other team over Stafford?
Yeah, I don't know. If reports are like what's the name said, a first round next year and second round this year, that's not bad. But
the 49ers could say, how about a second round?
Seems a little cheap, but at the same time he's old and he's been on a losing team, and like dude said, he lost in the playoffs, so all that's gonna hurt. But his passing. His stats speak for themselves, you know what I mean?
But
he's definitely good.
If all you're doing is passing, your stats are going to look elevated. I do wonder how he's.
See, here's the thing, though. I think Matt Stafford in this offense, I think he'd do well. If you get him a run game, like people are saying, his average passing is 550 attempts a year. Jimmy last year only threw 427. Yeah, so that's 100 more passes. So, I mean, if you knock that stuff down, too, knock the pass down, that's less likely of a chance of him getting hurt, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
There's that, too.
Because Shanahan's definitely not going to stop running the ball. He's going to get Matt
No,
Stafford, let him know right off
he
the
gives him
top.
a run game with these guys. These little jet sweeps and these
exactly.
touch passes.
I run the game, though. I mean, I like to run the ball, though, Matt. You can be okay with that? You know, I can just see it now. Matt said, I've never had a run game, of course.
Jimmy's a leader, dude. I bought his jersey, you know what I mean? I bought it before the Saints game. Yeah. I mean, I liked him ever since, like, beginning of this year. Or since when he came. But
and you know what's
he
so
does
funny?
He does limit the offense a certain amount, but he wins.
That
so.
may be, but with him, the 49ers have done nothing but win. And they lost the Super Bowl. But otherwise, Jimmy just wins and wins and wins. And that's the only thing that bothers me. If Stafford comes in just to keep winning.
Kyle's in like a lose-lose situation right now because if he stays with Jimmy and he gets hurt again,
and he loses,
people are going to be asking to fire him. Then if he gets other guy and he sucks, people are going to go, oh, man, you could have had Deshaun Watson. And,
or
Matt
or
Stafford,
you may as well,
this guy and all this.
Or wait,
you know,
your scenario gets even more funny. Jimmy goes to Indianapolis, and Indianapolis goes 11 or 12-0, right? And we're losing, and that would be the thing. Shit, all he ever needed was an offensive line. Now look, with Stafford, man, that dude is amazing. You know, because we don't have.
The only thing is I think he's kind of. I think he's almost forced his hand to almost look elsewhere because if Jimmy gets hurt next year on the team, people are going to be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And if they trade for Matt Stafford and he got hurt, they wouldn't be as pissed because at least they tried a different route. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, shit.
Just picked the wrong guy.
The line.
But, you know, but then we'll be back to CJ again. I got a feeling between CJ and Nick, Kyle might keep saying, well, you can't go get a rookie and draft him. If they get Stafford, CJ stays. If I had to guess between CJ and Nick, it's probably CJ or maybe both because they know how to run the offense. You can't have a rookie that doesn't know the offense, especially a rookie, to come right in and take over.
He's going to want to keep someone that he knows. He's going to want to keep someone that he knows for backup. God, those two guys are backup, so that's scary.
So you got to hope Stafford stays upright
Nick's
all year.
All right, but if he could just get sharper, Nick's like good, but he's I don't know.
Hey, and
Nick's
Dustin,
a better QB than freaking C.J. Beathard,
But you know what though? If everybody stays healthy outside the quarterback, I mean, just George stays out there, Debo stays out there, all the guys that were missing last year, if they stay out there, I think even Nick would be fine. You know, it's just a matter of you can't lose everybody and expect the backups to do anything. So if just Stafford goes down, George is still up, and everybody else is still up, I think they'd be okay.
Yeah. Regardless of what happens, I'm gonna stay tuned. You know what I mean?
It's still the 49ers. Dustin, it's our team. We can't leave.
It's gonna be legit.
Shit.
Nah.
All right, Dustin.
Hell no.
Okay, we gotta go.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
I'll see you Friday. All right, night, fam.
All right, man. Peace.
Oh, I see Krusty and Krusty.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Krusty, it's get rid of Jimmy time. Krusty, I haven't talked to you in such a long time. Matt Stafford could be, because what we're hearing about him has got to be accurate because there's no bones about it. Detroit and Matt said we're done. So whatever you're hearing, you can actually take it beyond the grain of salt, right? So the deal being offered now, next year a first round and a second round this year, that's appealing. The 49ers they're gonna look at that. I mean, what do you think?
Right.
Because he is a Kyle-style quarterback when all's said and done.
Right. But I said, get rid of who?
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Yeah,
really?
Jimmy's. Yeah. I don't want Jimmy gone either. It's up to me. Jimmy goes nowhere.
This is the thing. If we're going to get rid of Jimmy after this year, let's get rid of the rest of the team that friggin' got us to the Super Bowl in 2019 because pretty much every one of them got injured this year. Let's get rid of Mostert. Let's get rid of Nick. Let's get rid of George. Let's get rid of who else? Friggin'
Richburg.
Our whole offensive line. What's his name? Beham said it right. This is exactly what I was going to say. Why are we talking about getting rid of the quarterback? If you're sitting here worried about him getting injured, Why don't we upgrade the offensive line? That's exactly what I said earlier in the year. Why don't we upgrade the offensive line to make sure Jimmy doesn't get hurt? I don't understand.
3 years in the
Why
system.
are we going to get rid of?
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of Jimmy, bring in Matt Stafford or freaking Aaron Rodgers, whoever, and they're going to get injured, and then we're going to sit here and say, get rid of them. It's not the quarterback. He's proven himself as a quarterback. It's our offensive lines that's not able to protect him. That's what it was. He's not getting protected. He's getting injured. And, because in last year, 13-3, he wasn't injured at all. We had a better offensive line. Every one of us saw it. When I saw Grassu was gone and frickin' Brunska was at center, I was like, what's going on here?
I know.
It's ridiculous.
And that's a very important position on the offensive line for Shanahan, too. Yeah.
I've been listening to the everything since, I haven't been on in a while. I've been listening to everything. The last show before, when the guy mentioned Alex Mack, that would be a great opportunity. Let's get rid of Weston Richburg, like I said before. Let's bring in Alex Mack, and then let's replace D. Ford in the draft in the first round. In the first round, we need to get either defensive line or offensive line. That's our only choice. I understand Kyle Pitt. I was kind of like, maybe that will possibly be a good pick. But
I like him. Gosh.
Focus on the trenches. They're going to pick in the trenches. That's what they do every year. Ayuk was the second first-round pick last year. Other than that, they've only picked in the trenches from every. So just get that out of you guys' mind. Unless we get another first-round pick this year, they're going to choose in the trenches. And if we don't get Alex Mack in the free agency period, we're going to choose offensive line possibly. And if we don't do that, D. Ford's going. He's gone this year. He didn't do nothing for us because, he didn't do anything for us. Richard Sherman didn't do anything for us this year. So many people didn't do anything for us this year from the 2019 team, and everybody's picking on Jimmy. Come on. Come on. Seriously.
We're in lockstep.
Even freaking Ayuk and Debo, they missed most of the year. George Kittle missed most of the year. Everybody missed most of this year. I'm giving Jimmy a mulligan this year.
That was Jimmy's fault, too.
He tore his ACL in 2018. So did Nick this year. Are we going to give if Nick freaking has a good year next year and then freaking high ankle sprain the year after that? Or are you going to freaking sit there and say Nick Bosa's crap? No. Because you know what? Who else got a high ankle sprain? Mostert?
We had, it was disease, Krusty. We had about 5 guys with high ankle sprains, including K'Wan Williams. Everybody's with high ankle sprains in this team. So, yeah.
Everybody did. Everybody got high ankle sprains. I'm going to tell you this. If we did not rush Jimmy back after that Eagles game that Mullen totally screwed up on, and we gave him another 3 or 4 games to get back to where he needed to be, we would have been in the playoffs and probably the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, since they were begging for teams to make that spot. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is we rushed him back because Mullen totally screwed up during that Eagles game, and after that, he screwed up during the Miami game, but we gave him the chance and he was able to get back. But once we got to that Seattle game, he got a worse ankle sprain and he was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But who else got injured that game?
Oh,
George Kittle broke his foot.
Every week.
Come on.
Every week we had guys going down.
I swear. Exactly. This was a bad year, guys. Don't sit here and try and get rid of Jimmy after a bad year. Everybody had a bad year this year. Same thing I was talking about freaking Mostert before we freaking, I didn't want to give him a contract because it was just 1 year. It was 1 year. I'm glad that we went the route that we did because if we would have paid Mostert a lot of money, you guys would be talking about get rid of Mostert because he didn't play most of the year either this year. But you know who did do good this year? Jeff Wilson Jr. But no one thought he would do good.
And don't forget,
he got injured too.
Jason Verrett. Krusty, we're out of time, though. Krusty, excellent points.
Yep.
We'll see you Friday, okay?
Okay, I'll try to get back on Friday. I've been busy really lately, so we'll see you guys later. Hopefully I'll be able to get back on Friday.
Looking forward. All right, Krusty. Have a good night.
I'm looking forward to it, too.
All right. Let's go here and check out. Okay. Mark Lamar says Jimmy played 2 good games in 2019. That's it. Oh, God. You forgot about the Rams. Oh, anyway, the rest was a scheme and defense. Stop it already. Stafford, Watson, Rodgers, get one and move on. Yeah. People don't, Mark, you don't like Jimmy. People who don't like Jimmy, they seem to like, man, that's sort of like below average. That's just like he's nothing. He's not even out there. Hey, and Jamie.
Hey, Ronbo.
Jamie, yes. We continue the roast of Jimmy. You know, it's kind of scary now. If they don't get rid of Jimmy now, there could be a contingent of people out protesting in front of the stadium. It's like the insurrection. Kill Jimmy! Kill Jimmy! Kill Jimmy! I mean, God, it's hostile. But
you know where Jimmy lost
deal.
the fans?
The Super Bowl.
Do you know where? No, it's the very first game of the season, and like I still have it burnt in my retinas.
The Cardinals
game? Perfect pocket.
Yeah,
perfect pocket. Nobody around him, and he was dancing around like his feet were going crazy in a full circle, and there was nobody even around him with a complete pocket.
He did not.
That's where he lost all the fans. He's right there.
Yeah. Well,
that was the game,
and especially since that combined with last year's Super Bowl, that's all it took. You know.
And then the injuries.
That was he was strange.
Like I say, it's burnt in my retinas watching him dance in that circle.
Well, he might be. Gone.
You know what? Yeah, I think I don't know. It sounds like it's likely. I think is what they'll do is they'll end up trading Jimmy. They're going to figure out where he wants to go and everything. They'll get all that stuff worked out. And they'll have an agreement with the Lions, and then they'll end up trading Jimmy right before they announce the agreement with the Lions, you know?
Yeah, you got to do that, but you can't wait on the Lions because, as somebody mentioned, Indianapolis is in a very seriously precarious position. They've got to do something in quick. They can't. You got no quarterback, where the 49ers potentially have 3, even though 2 of them are not worth a damn. But they got to hurry up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they wanted to push our hand, we got a lot more draft capital, I think, than they do. Like I don't
True,
see
but how
even
far
paying that much more for.
How far would Lynch and Shanahan go though? Because when you don't have a quarterback
have
at
you
all,
ever been to an auction?
Yeah, well, you keep
Have you ever
bidding.
been to an auction? Yeah, I was thinking about that just a little bit ago. I'm like, dude, I hate going to the auction because if somebody starts bidding on my stuff, I'm like, I don't think so.
Because the thing is, like I say, the 49ers are not, in spite of what people think, they're not desperate for a quarterback. Jimmy would be fine. But if you get into a bidding war with the Colts, and the Colts keep saying, because, hey, we don't have anybody. We got to get this. This is Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
he'll work better.
They might go wild over
than what's his name did last year, and that could be interesting. And maybe the 49ers do want him that bad though, and they would get into a bidding war, and maybe they could win.
I don't think you're going to get much more than what they're talking about now. Like I don't think that people value him that much. I think it's about right where they're at.
But if you don't have a quarterback at all, like the Colts, and I didn't even realize. I just realized they don't. Jacoby Brissett, he had a 1 year. He's out. Philip retired. What do you do now? Because they could have went after Watson, and they probably are. Because let's get Deshaun. Okay. Then of course Texas says, we want your firstborn, your secondborn, if you have any children, we want their firstborn. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. So
the rookie I was just looking at was Mond. I looked at him, and that little dude's got a cannon.
Who?
Mond. I think he played for Texas A&M.
Okay.
He's a rookie. Yeah, look up his highlights, dude. He's got a pretty. Yeah, what's his first name? His last name is Mond.
Texas A&M. I'll look for Texas A&M quarterback. But you do like him, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty good little backup. If somebody were to grab him, I mean, he'd be a good backup to bring in if somebody goes down. And he shouldn't be first round. He might go into second or third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just worried about what they're going to do because we need an offensive lineman bad. Everybody knows that. The second offensive lineman that's good is that one I told you about, Chase Young or whatever, that one-handed him.
Okay.
He's going to go. He's going to go around 10 to 20.
I gotta go see that.
So if we keep our first-round pick, and we can grab an offensive lineman, but if those three corners are the best corners, they got to look for somebody else they can get later, because we absolutely need a corner too.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's very interesting to see what the 49ers are going to do if they don't get a corner. You need the best corner that's in the draft, actually, with whatever you can get at 12. It's going to be interesting to see how they work that one out.
Then what do you do for your offensive line? You just go with what we got.
Well, you know what? You can actually get a good offensive lineman in the second round, actually, because people don't like to. You're not going to get a guy like Sewell or the other guy you mentioned, or maybe the guy you're mentioning now, the guy that one-handed Chase, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's
well, that's
tough.
what I'm saying. If they snatched him up, then you wouldn't be able to get a corner. And do you think they're really going to go for a corner in the first round?
I do. It's such a desperate spot right now. Jay, we're gonna go though. We're out of time. Well, this is gonna continue. This is gonna be ongoing. Well, I'll see you Friday, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Phil.
Okay.
Right.
See you, Ronbo.
And Nigel.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Nigel, it's what are the 49ers going to do time? You know, every time you look at the draft, you look at the FA, you look at the needs. Oh, it's enough to make you nuts. Actually, it's funny because we're looking at a quarterback, but quarterback is not priority one when you don't have one cornerback signed. You've got a center, Weston Richburg, that if nothing else, he needs a backup or make him a backup for free agency. If you get Alex Mack, then maybe you try to do something else with Richburg. But we got some serious issues on this team, and we need to be careful with the money because Trent Williamson said, y'all know you got to pay me. So, it's getting – 49ers got some serious situations going on here. Man, but what do you think?
For sure, man.
Because he is a Kyle guy when you look at Matt Stafford. What do you think?
Matt Stafford? I think that for the right price, we have to get him. I mean, I think that's just – like you said, with the money situation, it'll help out a little bit with the money situation. And do I feel like it's a major upgrade from Jimmy to go with Matt Stafford? No, he's not like light years ahead of Jimmy at this point, in their careers. He's 4 years older. He's been in the league for 12, going on 13 years, so he's a little bit long. He's not like super old, but he's in football years, he's a little bit long in the tooth. Although he has proven he has the arm. He can make every throw out there. So I'm pretty excited about that prospect. But I think if we were to get Matt Stafford, I also think with that 12th pick, maybe we should move back to get more picks, unless we have to give that up for him. I'm not sure. But I saw some
according
of the people.
According to what we're just hearing, next year you got to give him a first round. This year they'll take a second. Because they really want to get rid of him.
Okay.
So they made it attractive in that way. Second round this year, first round next year.
Yeah. As long as it's not multiple first-round picks, because I just feel like
you wouldn't want to do
if we're looking at a guy
not
like
for a
Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Because how many more years is he going to play?
Yeah. And how many more years is he going to be good? So we don't know about that. But if we're going into a bidding war with other teams, and some of the reports are saying not as there's not as much interest in Stafford as they thought there might be. There's only 10 teams, they said, which 10 teams is still a good amount of teams that are
and who
looking
are
at
those
quarterbacks.
teams?
So
yeah,
right. Now, what do they have to offer too? So I was just thinking, and I was looking on the chat too, but there was defensive backs. I mean, 2 teams in our division gave up multiple first-round picks for defensive backs. You know what I'm saying? So
I know.
What are they going to be asking for Matt Stafford?
I would. And they said they want market value. Well, guys, a second and a first round next year for Matt Stafford and his legendary stats. That's not market value.
And it's like they're like, people want to give up. They think they're just going to have to give a bag of peanuts and a first round pick next year, and you got your next franchise quarterback. I'm like, man, that's a little bit brave to try to call that out there, but I don't know. We'll see what they ask for him. If we do have to give up picks, though, I think that if we're able to keep that first round pick this year, they'd probably trade back to get even more players.
Yeah, that would make
in
sense.
the draft, because I think you would need it at that point if you're giving up multiple picks for him. So,
and he saved
we'll
$7 million. So that would be an inspiration for him right there. Because Matt gets 20, and that's $7 million shorter than Jimmy, and they're going to need every dollar they can get this year. So it's going to be because it's definitely not going to be Watson. Watson comes in next year at a whopping $35 million. There was no way that was ever going to happen. He's not leaving Texas anyway. And so it comes down to just Stafford. Yeah. Rodgers is just mad. He is not leaving Green Bay. That's the only thing he's known as Green Bay. And what's Rodgers going? He was in the playoffs last year, and he had a shot. He was in the playoffs this year, all the way to the end. Rodgers actually has no business complaining too much, because he did get stopped 3 times, even though that one time at the end was it. But Rodgers got shut down in the fourth quarter. 3 INTs. Tom's out there throwing INTs. Aaron, I'm trying to give you the game. What are you doing? All right, let me try to get Aaron. I'm trying to come on. And Aaron can't do it. So I'm laughing. That's ridiculous. So he'll stay in Green Bay.
Now, the other thing I think with Matt Stafford is, if we were to be able to get him with Jimmy Garoppolo, him having that no trade clause, I think that he would most likely. Now, I'm not sure about all the in and outs of his contract. I know if we were to cut him, the cap hit wouldn't be so horrible on us, so we have that option. But I think maybe for him, it would be prudent if we were to get Matt Stafford to go ahead and choose a team to get traded to in order to keep that contract that he has.
He does have a list of teams he wants to go to. I don't know. I didn't see. It just said Stafford list his team. I don't know. I didn't have time to read the whole article. I got to go back and check that out. But, I wonder if he mentioned the 49ers. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. But anyway.
I'll tell you what, man, we got to go. Let's see if Friday if you get any time for us. All right?
Cool. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, Nigel. All right, night. And Santana.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing? How you feeling today, man?
I'm all right, man. Because actually, I will be glad when this is all ironed out. If we're gonna get another quarterback, okay, let's get him. Let's start to think about it. Let's get him making phone calls to all the guys on the team, reassure them that, I'm not here to replace Jimmy in your heart. I just want to see if we can get together and win a Super Bowl, and things like that. And then we could just move on and go forward, and let's get the initial pain out of the way. Because he is actually a Kyle kind of guy. I mean, he keeps his eyes downfield. He's a good quarterback. He's got a big arm. Maybe it's going to work, because he looks like he could. The 49ers got to look at that deal. If for no other reason, they got to look at it because it's financially it's advantageous. But what are you thinking, though, Santana?
I mean, Ronbo, I've come in your shows and I've said, I like Jimmy G. I've always said that, and I've come in your show and I've said some stats about Jimmy G and the O-line. He's getting sacked, it's 46 times in the season. And, obviously injuries are going to come, right, with the sacks. But the thing about Jimmy Ronbo is that he hasn't been the same since the 2017. When he came in, Ronbo, he looked like a stud, Ronbo, and that's what made John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan sign him. He looked like a stud. He looked legit. Those 5-6 games that he played, he was light feet. He would jump up and down and boom, throw a strike to whatever.
But Santana, we went through this last time. And but today, I want to know: are you going to be excited to get Stafford? Because I think,
Oh yeah,
yeah, because what's his name? Watson's not coming out of Texas, and Aaron Rodgers was just pissed off. He's not leaving. You're going to get Stafford.
yeah, no, Rumble. I think our best choice and the smartest choice is to get Matthew Stafford. I feel like it's the cheapest, and we won't have to give up too many picks for a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Compared to Watson and then Aaron Rodgers, bro. He's not even.
He wasn't.
Packers.
He's not leaving. Yeah.
So no.
And neither is Watson.
And I think, and you know what, Rumble? Matthew Stafford has played in the league for 12 years, and he's only missed 26 games in his entire career. And so what we're getting from Matthew Stafford is definitely a stronger arm, a guy with experience, and for missing 26 games in 12 seasons, I mean, that's pretty good.
Tough.
So I guess you can say, yeah, he's tough and durable. So, and I'm happy with it. I like Matthew Stafford, and I think it's gonna turn our offense into a whole different offense for sure. Because now, Kyle can throw some, deep balls or something like that. Call up some place to throw deep balls. He can. Matthew Stafford can throw from all different kind of platforms, deep, mid routes, short routes, whatever you want. He can do it, and he's proven in the league, And so I'm excited, Ronbo. If we do get him, oh man, it's gonna be good. It's something to look forward to, right? But Ronbo, I think I don't want to bash on Jimmy G, Ronbo, but I know you like him and everything, but I think we know what we have in Jimmy G.
And the thing is, because I see a lot of unfairness. I see a lot of quarterbacks do exactly the same thing. I mean, as I said, my best example is the NFC conference game. You got the legendary GOAT and fake GOAT. That's what they call him on. That's they call Aaron Rodgers. Who's that guy? Anyway, you've got to both screw it up in the fourth quarter, way worse than Jimmy did in the Super Bowl last year, right? Yeah. And I was sitting there thinking, there's Rodgers. Tom's throwing up an INT every time he comes back out there. They're going 3 and out in Green Bay. If that was Jimmy, oh my God, the poop would be hitting the fan. So that's why I defend him, because I keep saying, you know what, the mistakes Jimmy makes, some of them are kind of common. And that's what I was pointing out to you the other day. You said Jimmy, when he came in, they signed him because he was light on his feet doing everything. I also remember as soon as you started learning Kyle Shanahan's offense, all of a sudden it slowed down, which is something that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge, but I do worry. And that's the only thing that worries me. Matthew Stafford, you give me the stats, and he's this, he's that, he's this, and he's that. And all of a sudden he gets with Kyle, and like every quarterback, suddenly they're not the same quarterback. Hopefully that's not going to happen, and he'll be still be Matthew Stafford.
Nah, I don't think so, Ronbo. And you know what, Ronbo?
Easy to say. But
look, Ronbo,
last year, Rodgers went through the same thing. He wasn't happy with that system. That's the same as Kyle's system. You already know about Ryan. Maybe Stafford can buck that trend and come in and be fine. It's yet to be seen. But to assume it, maybe assuming a little too fast.
I mean, hey, Ronbo, Kyle Shanahan schemes players to be open, Ronbo. And like I said, he can throw from all kinds of platforms, and he can read the field too.
Yeah, but Santana, the only point is you're not getting it. He will do as Kyle Shanahan says he better do. You know what I'm saying? Kyle, it's about him. Kyle believes his system works, and you need to run it. Now, if you start doing anything other than that, then you're going to have a problem with me. So you got to do what I want you to do. And if it works, okay. If you fail doing something else, that's not going to happen.
I mean, but that's what we're assuming he's that way. We don't know, though.
No, we know. We know. So, there's been all kind of documented. Kyle is not flexible when it comes. He knows his system is good, and that's why he gets quarterbacks who can run it. Santana, you know what? This is an argument that's going to go on and on because it's written. So, but listen, we're out of time again. Let me see you Friday.
All right. I just wanted to say, Ronbo, that
real quick,
that Jimmy G probably will never we will never probably see his ceiling due to injury, and so I don't think Kyle and John Lynch want to take that risk, and that's why they're trying to make a move for Matthew Stafford. You know.
All right, all right,
So,
all right, Santana. We
yeah.
really got to go the out of time. I'll see you
All right,
Friday.
man. All right, man. Thank you. All right, later.
All right. And here goes Jimmy's other biggest fan. It's Dollar Bill Will. All right, Will. Sorry to mention, Will. I didn't know you was that far down on the line, though. All right. Will.
No, it's the man. What's going on?
Oh, Will, I'm looking at Matthew Stafford here. I just hope he works out, man, because come on, man. Please don't have any problems.
Ronbo, trust me, man. It's going to work out, man. Like I say over and over again, I don't hate Jimmy. I really don't. I know the idiots on the live feed think.
Yeah, when I call y'all haters, I just call you that because the appreciation you have for the next guy, and don't give Jimmy no love. So henceforth, I call y'all the haters, but I know you don't really hate him like that. I'm just saying.
Nah. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. You know, I just think that we in win mode now, and when you got a guy like Matthew Stafford who's well documented and has those and has the talent that and more talent that I think Jimmy G has, why not go for it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody want to say, well, Matthew Stafford hasn't won in Detroit or whatnot. Aaron Rodgers can't even make it to the Super Bowl. So why say Matthew Stafford hasn't won a playoff game with Aaron Rodgers out there with Matt LaFleur, the same man that runs Kyle Shanahan's scheme, can't even make it to the Super Bowl? You know, and everybody saying Matthew Stafford. Well, Matthew Stafford only had Megatron. That's all he had. The Detroit Lions has been a mismanaged organization for years. Ever since Barry Sanders left, they have been a complete shamble in the organization. They couldn't do nothing right, from the front office all the way down to the players. They couldn't do nothing right, and Matthew Stafford had to deal with that all these years. And he stayed with it. He never complained. He stood up like a soldier, and he did what he could. Now Matthew Stafford has a chance to team up with Kyle Shanahan. I'm talking about if not the best play caller in the league. To get Sean McVay and Matt LaFleur, the Shanahan system is the Shanahan system. It's not the McVay system. It's not the LaFleur system. It's the Shanahan system. And the reason I say that is because you got multiple teams out here trying to run the Shanahan system now. They're trying to be like Shanahan. So that shows you how much rank Kyle Shanahan had. Now, if you get a Matthew Stafford who has more talent than Jimmy G, teams up with Kyle, I'm telling you, man, he'll have more pieces than he had in Detroit. He'll have a Debo Samuel. He'll have a Brandon Ayuk. He'll have a Jordan Reed if he stays. He'll have a George Kittle. He'll have a Raheem Mostert. I'm talking about weapons, multiple weapons, not just one, multiple. And if you put him with Kyle Shanahan, you will see Matthew Stafford best career in the NFL. That's what I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you that.
I know.
Shout out to the.
You know my argument about that, my feeling about that. I still think Jimmy would excel with that weaponry too. He ain't had that since he's been here, not one time.
Right, but he's never available. He's never available. And
that I'll go along with, but I still think Jimmy do well with them weapons, and maybe as well.
He's not available, Ronbo. He's been here since 2017 on to play one full season. I mean, you can't wait on someone like that. You can't wait, especially when you're in win mode now. You can't wait on that.
I got no argument against that. I'm not arguing about that. He's not available. He's hurt.
Yeah, you got to keep the ball rolling.
But
you know what
let's
saying?
hope. Let's hope Matthews, because there's something weird going on in San Francisco or Santa Clara with players getting hurt. Because last year we got hurt more than everybody, and that is really scary, strange.
I agree. I agree. Now I agree. You had Mostert and some of the other guys that had ankle sprains. I get that, but they came back, Ronbo. They came back. Jimmy G stayed on the sideline. Now, shout out to the callers that gave the name Javier Vega, whatever his name is, the guy that who I think has credentials. And people around the social media said the man don't miss on these type of information. Yeah, Javier Vega.
And Will, nobody can even argue that because there's no reason.
He went on the podcast. Wait, let me finish. He went on the podcast. Instead, he talked to a few players, and a few players he talked to said they do not feel the way y'all think they feel about Jimmy. They said Kyle Shanahan said, "How can I look in the eyes of my players and tell them George Kittle cannot go on that field when that man's 100% healthy? So how can I look at my team and tell them Jimmy Garoppolo can't go on that field when that man is all the way healthy? That man been healthy." Now his agent Don Yee told that man, "You need you need to rest that ankle. You need to rest that ankle and just stay out because you might be involved in a trade and we want to get you some money." You see what I'm saying? And this man said that on his podcast.
Yeah, but
now
unless,
this man has incredible sources. Now
that's
this
fine.
what this man
But
said on his podcast.
I know you want to. I'm not buying it until I need to hear that from John or Kyle. I'm not. He may be credible and everything, but I don't. This organization does not let that kind of stuff get out. But maybe I don't know. But I need to hear from them though. But anyway,
it may not be coming from the 49ers. It may be coming from Detroit. What the other caller said, it may be coming from Detroit.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the information that Robert Saleh got from Detroit. You remember Robert Saleh went for the interview to Detroit for the Lions job. They may told Saleh, "Hey, look, we just letting you know that we're going to trade Jimmy." That could have been the conversation. And Robert Saleh may could have called John and Kyle and told Kyle, "Hey, look, Detroit finna trade. Detroit looking to get rid of Stafford."
Okay.
Yeah.
First you said Jimmy. All right. Well, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, he comes to team, I'll be fine. I just hope it works. That's all I want. Because with me, all I know is Jimmy hits the ground running, and the 49ers are the potent team they were in 2019. With Stafford, I'm nervous because, unlike everybody else, I'm not confident he's just going to come in and just shoot from the hip, right from jump. And this worries me. But we'll see.
Tom Brady. You got Tom Brady down in
different system.
Tampa Bay, straight from the first year, named the Super Bowl.
Aaron's system is not as difficult as Shanahan's. We'll see. Because with Bruce, all you got to do is throw the ball deep downfield. That's all he care about. That's what all Tom did in the fourth quarter. One INT after another. Aaron's just still fire that ball downfield. But let me see you Friday, fam. We got to go.
Okay. All right. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to my TNT fan, man. Trey Trez, all them guys. Shout out to the Ronbo Sports Fan Club, man. Super Bowl 55. I guess Tampa Bay is down there for the Super Bowl.
I felt bad about that too.
I do hope they beat the Chiefs though. I want them to beat the Chiefs. They too cocky right now. Talking about this dynasty and stuff. They need I want them to lose.
Hear you.
I want them to lose. All right, man.
See you Friday. And there he is, one of the founding members of TNT. He is Trey from VA. He cannot say anything cute and cuddly tonight.
Fine. Oh, yes. And I do mean finally, Brother Ronbo. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm a little worried about this quarterback exchange, but I'll learn to and appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
as long as we're winning.
In times like these,
just don't come in losing.
In times like these, you only can go with the facts. Shout out to my TNT family, First Lady of TNT, all my TNT brothers. Shout out to you, Brother Ronbo on production. I disagree, and I know that's a shock, but
disagree with what?
I would like to.
With Matt Stafford?
There was a guy that called. Someone, no, with a lot of things. No, not with Matt Stafford, but there was a person that called earlier and said that all we need to do is upgrade the offensive line and keep Jimmy G.
But you know what? No matter what with Jimmy G, you do need to do some of that offensive line. It's got to get better. We can't even run.
Why can't we do both? Why can't we upgrade the quarterback and spend that draft pick
I thought you meant
offensive line?
No, I just thought you meant you weren't concerned with the offensive line.
You see what I mean? Because there's a lot of hate, Brown. But let's be real. Shout out to my brother Will because he mentioned something I was going to mention. Great minds think alike, I think. The Lions franchise is trash. Sucks. The three best players in Lions history either quit in their prime on them or asked to be traded. Barry quit in his prime. Calvin quit 2 or 3 days before training camp. Just couldn't even bear the thought of going to work. And now Matt. So don't give me. They've never given him a defense. They've never given him competent coaching. The one time they had it with Caldwell, they fired him only to hire Matt Patricia, a guy that took him to the playoffs twice. They fired for a guy that couldn't. Incompetency, Ronbo. Here's the funny thing, though, Ronbo. Jimmy G's best year. Last year, Ronbo. You said that was his best year. What was his stats, Ronbo? Rattle that off for me again. How many touchdowns?
You're talking about 2019, the Super Bowl year?
Yeah. The year you claimed that was all world and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
What we hold it. What were those stats?
No. I said his percentages were good.
Okay. Because that's a bad year.
Okay, Trey, I just want to get to one thing straight to you and everybody else. Let me just finish this thought real quick. Jimmy G was part of a winning team that popped on all cylinders. He gets a lot of shots at him for that, which is why I don't understand that. But go ahead, make a point. Listen, I didn't say Jimmy was just leading the team in all stats, and he was the guy that was the reason they were winning. That's not what Kyle's team's all about. But go ahead.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
No, it's not. It's what Kyle. That's what Kyle orchestrates.
Atlanta, they went to the Super Bowl because of their quarterback.
No,
he was the MVP of the league.
No,
he was the MVP of the league. Ronbo.
He was, but they had weapons galore. I mean, I don't know how you can lose with that.
So
now we do.
Stop it.
It's true.
His best year, Ronbo. Okay, I'm not denying that we have it now. We've had it for the last 2 to 3 years, Ronbo.
No, not to the extent we do now.
Oh, stop it, Ronbo. Please. Because everything that you guys say.
Okay, just give me Jimmy G's 2019 year with what you got now.
Okay, hold on. I got it for you. Please. 27 and 13. 27 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. That's a bad year for Matt Stafford.
Listen,
Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
I'm not making a comparison with Matt Stafford.
Year.
If I put Julio Sanu and Taylor Gabriel with also a Jimmy, I doubt very seriously whether he would have bad numbers.
Matt Stafford didn't have any of that. He didn't have Sanu. That's a bad year.
What Stafford got to do? You said Matt Ryan. I'm just telling you.
No. What I'm saying
there is a difference in weaponry.
Jimmy's numbers. What I'm saying is, Ronbo, Jimmy's numbers. His best year is a bad year for Matt Stafford. It's an average year for Matt Stafford. Jimmy's a turnover machine, Ronbo. Let me tell you why.
Wait,
the man had 13 interceptions.
All Matt Stafford did was throw. They don't have any running game.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
And hold on. Let me break it down for you. No, because you're right. We run the ball like nobody's business, Ronbo. Jimmy had 13 interceptions. Matt Stafford hasn't had 13 interceptions in 6 NFL seasons. But all they do is throw. He protects the ball. All they do, you're making my point for me. Jimmy, all we do is run the ball, and you got 13 interceptions. He had 10 fumbles last year, Ronbo. 10. Lost 5. 10 fumbles.
Right.
His ball security is an issue. You want to talk about availability? You tired of that argument? Well, let's switch it over to the guy doesn't secure the ball. He threw an interception in the Super Bowl with his eyes closed in the first quarter. With his eyes closed.
You know who else threw an interception in the Super Bowl? Mahomes threw 2 as well. Okay,
with his eyes closed, Ronbo.
Mahomes threw his with his eyes open.
You're missing the point, Ronbo.
No, I'm just saying his interceptions are no worse than the next guy's. This is why I argue for Jimmy. Everything Jimmy does is amplified. I'm watching Tom Brady throw 3 INTs in the Super Bowl, and nobody's even complaining. Okay, but just amplify Jimmy's, and the next guy's is okay.
Patrick Mahomes, Ronbo, we're talking about the fourth quarter. We're talking about money time. Do you believe in clutch? Do you think that there's a such thing as stepping your game up and big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments? Do you believe in that?
Of course you
do.
You? Absolutely. I've seen Jimmy do that a couple of times, too.
So when you compare Patrick Mahomes to Jimmy G,
no comparison.
On the fact that Jimmy
I'm comparing the mistake.
Had one of the worst fourth quarters in NFL
I'm
history.
Comparing
the
mistake.
Ever.
No, Tom did the other day. Tom did the other day.
No,
Tom,
the fourth
Tom
quarter
did
of
the other
the
day.
Super Bowl, Ronbo. I said Super Bowl.
It's the big platform. The NFC Championship game.
He won. He threw 3 touchdowns in the first half.
He threw 3 INTs in the fourth quarter. If Jimmy would have threw 1 INT in the fourth quarter, you'd be saying what you're saying now.
He threw 3 touchdowns in the first half. Has Jimmy ever thrown 3 touchdowns in any playoff game? He didn't even have 3 touchdowns in the entire playoff run. So what are we talking about?
Tom Brady's been playing football. Here's what we're talking about, Trey. And for all of those who decided that Jimmy G is a finished product after one full season, this is BS. I'm just saying, because I want to see what these guys look like. Tom Brady, all of these guys, after their first full season. Were they the bee's knees?
Rombo,
Did everybody decide that they were going to be GOATs right from the jump? This is what I'm saying. If Jimmy had 3 or 4 seasons in, I would say, okay, you're right. Jimmy sucks. But you guys get him 1 full season, and you're making comparisons with guys that you have no business making comparisons. No, you're not. You're being irrational, like everybody else is.
How? I'm giving you facts.
Because you're comparing it to guys who've been in the league forever. That's not right. That's not even fair.
That play, Rombo. Huh? They play. So you're holding against them that they actually play and Jimmy doesn't.
No, I'm saying, how do you make that comparison?
Because they. Okay, how about this? Why don't we take rookie quarterbacks, Rombo? How about this? Justin Herbert came in 31-10. That's better than Jimmy's ever done. He didn't have an off-season training camp or preseason, Rombo. Hold on, wait a minute.
How about the Chargers do?
All this time? Oh, they got rid of their coach. They wanted more. So why can't we?
We are. I'm just saying, you can say what you want about this
came in
and that,
played Jimmy,
but
Rombo.
give me a break with Jimmy breaking him down and comparing him with guys who've been playing forever.
So,
That's not right.
So veterans can't. Hold on, wait a minute. Veterans can't play better than Jimmy because they've played too long, and rookies can't play better than Jimmy.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Trey. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're going to compare Jimmy to somebody, compare him to somebody who's played a little less time. It's not fair. If Jimmy had 5 or 10 years, if Jimmy had 5 or 10 years, how would he look? I want to know.
Jimmy to Sam Bradford. You're right. No, you're right. I will compare him to Sam Bradford. A talented quarterback.
Of course you will. He gets injured.
You know what? That's it. Look, I know we got to go. I've ran over my time. Thank you.
No. Trey, it's okay. But I'm scared. I just say the comparisons with Jimmy after 1 season are so wrong. I'd love to see what Jimmy looks like after 3 seasons, not even 5.
Time out. I just compared him to one player. I just compared him to a rookie. 1 year. I said his 1 year is better than Jimmy's 1 year. He had no offseason. Jimmy had training camp.
All right,
Jimmy was in this offense for 4 years.
I give up. I surrender. We got to go.
No, Robert, I will say this. It's very dope that you allow us to not have the same opinion. We're all family. It's all love.
Of course.
We don't have to agree with each other, but
I'm always
hit that like, y'all.
There you go. We'll see you Friday. Time.
No, Ron, you've always done this, and I appreciate you, sir, because we don't have to agree. We love our
We're all family. It's okay. No family gets along all the time. Absolutely. We got to argue about something.
No family does all the time. Y'all take care. Thank you again for having me.
All right, Trey. Looking forward. Okay. KC. Yeah. Mr. Mucci thinks I'm sorry, Rumbo. You're only making excuses. Yeah, well, you can call it that. I call it the truth. Hey, KC.
Yo, Ronbo, what's up, man?
KC,
up, man? Put me in, coach, man. Let's get down to business, Ronbo.
Get down to business. Hey, KC, numbers, don't say anything. Don't make any excuses for Jimmy because those are looked at as excuses, and everybody else, anything you say good about anybody else or bad is a lie.
You know, let's get down to the numbers. You know, I mean, we're talking career. Career yard average here, we got 7.2 for Matthew Stafford. Career yard average for Jimmy, we got 8.2. That's a
I was going to mention that earlier, but I said, no, don't do it. Because how long has Jimmy been playing?
Yeah. Let's talk career percentage, 62.6 for Matthew Stafford. Career percentage, Jimmy G, 67.5. Let's talk touchdown to interception ratio, 1.6 for Matthew Stafford, 1.9 for Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy's taken a lot less sacks. He's thrown 1/20th of the balls that Matthew's thrown.
If that.
And, you know, one thing you guys really don't consider is that Jimmy's got the locker room. And not only that, he's got George. George is his best friend. They're basically a package deal. I mean, Jimmy is the man. Jimmy is a good-looking guy. He runs out of the hall, out of the tunnel with his helmet off. He's not going anywhere, man. They're going to rock with Jimmy until the wheels fall off. Now, you know, I mean, they might. You know, if they think they can afford it, you know, if they want to have a quarterback competition, you know, who knows? I mean, the trade-off is not Aaron Rodgers. You know, the trade-off is not like, okay, I mean, he would be Matthew Stafford would be, you know, great for the Colts, but the 49ers have the quarterback, and it's not even close. He's statistically a better quarterback. Now, is Matthew Stafford a better pure passer?
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, yeah, for sure.
We both agree on that, yeah.
You know, I mean,
But is that all
a better
we're talking
quarterback
about?
is Jimmy.
Yeah, you know,
You
that's
know?
not necessarily
And
just
it's not
all
like
you
it's
need.
not like I'm not pleased with Jimmy going 6 of 8 in the NFC Championship. How are we going to complain about that? That was a blowout game. They did what they need to do. You know,
People bring that up all the time.
You guys sound like y'all came from like Grant Cohen's page, and y'all are like kind of stroking your egos and giving shout outs and Ronbo listen to me and stuff, man. What are you guys watching, honestly, man? Because you look at the numbers. And it's really actually not even close. 67% completion compared to 62% completion. Why would you do that? That makes absolutely no sense considering Stafford's age, his health. So I don't think they're going to do that at all. I think they have a better chance of getting Rodgers
don't leave out the stat,
in a year or two.
Casey, don't leave out the stat, though, about winning. Winning is everything. I don't care how you get it done. I don't care if you're on the field and you didn't do anything but stand there. You win.
And Jimmy, if we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, man, Kittle didn't really show up. Kendrick didn't really show up. Kendrick, in that there was a play like on third down before the Emmanuel Sanders throw happened where Jimmy threw the ball thinking Kendrick was going to go one way, and I think he took the out or he took a curl or something. Yeah. But Jimmy's never going to say that. He's never going to throw Kendrick under the bus like that.
Well, he doesn't do that. And this is not. And Casey, you bring up the point I've been trying to make for years. I said, you know what? Everybody thinks it's just a one-way street. The quarterback's got to do his job, but the receivers don't. And what did Casey? Do you remember when Kyle was saying? But do you remember when Kyle said, "I need"? But remember when Kyle said, "I need some wide receivers to step up"? That's what he was talking about. But people ignore it, and that's why when Trey calls in and says, "Well, no, Jimmy's had weapons and whatever," I said, "No, he just now got weapons, and now we kick him to the curb."
And he had a great season, man. He averaged 8.4 yards a pass in 2019, and to compare career averages and stuff, he's higher than Brady in average. He's higher than Breeze in average.
Well, that was his first year too.
Jimmy is a damn good quarterback. Now, is Jimmy a runner? No. Is Jimmy a scrambler? No. But Jimmy is their best option, and it just doesn't. It would shake up the whole team. It would just. It's too early, and it's not Aaron Rodgers. So I think, I think Jimmy's here. But,
maybe a lateral move. I don't know, but I do know that says don't tell me all of Jimmy's mistakes and then ignore the other guy's mistakes.
Yeah,
We're
and I'm tired of this, man.
I'm
not trying to, and I'm sorry for interrupting Jesus and stuff and saying, Jesus, I hope you hear me, man, because, I know you keep it 100, man, but, Jimmy could be traded if he agrees to it and everything, but I just wanted to say that just so you get, I don't want you to get your hopes up and whatnot or whatever. But anyway, it's like, I don't know, man. They got their window. Their time is right now. They definitely want to win, and they just need to stay healthy. That's really it. So
we're gonna.
I'm tired of hearing that same argument about like these hypotheticals of like what Jimmy did and all this stuff. Like Jimmy's got 2 Super Bowl rings. He's been to 3 Super Bowls. Okay, did Jimmy win those 2 rings? No, he wasn't playing, but that means something. He's a winner. He's been there before. The guy's like 28 years old, and he's.
Point is, what Casey, what worries me the most though, and everybody says, "Darn man, he'll have," Stafford's going to come in, and he got to hold his hand for the first. I don't want to go through that. This is the thing. It really freaks me out to know he's going to be out there scheming and learning, and we got our guys doing what they do because they know what to do. They could work fast because that's what you do when you know something. Stafford's going to have to think. I don't want thinking. I want go. That's why I want Jimmy back.
I really like Stafford. I think he is like actually like one of those quarterbacks that can make any throw, and I've seen him make those no-look passes over the years and stuff. He's a damn good player.
He is.
But the trade-off isn't glaring enough to shake up the whole team. It's just not. It's not a big. It's now if Aaron Rodgers calls,
listen. I got no problem with
You
Rodgers.
know, Aaron Rodgers called, I'm rolling out the red carpet.
Oh, yeah,
man.
you know what? Because Rodgers knows this stuff already. All he has to do is get familiar and develop chemistry right quick with the guys we got. But Stafford's going to have to come out. He's going to have to go through the playbook. He's going to say, okay, so I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. I'm going to look for the curl there, but I'm going to be going downfield to this route here, blah, blah, blah. You know, playbooks are not, people think you just quit. You just come and look at the playbook. I'm good. Let's go. No.
Jimmy,
they got to go
Jimmy
through
has
it.
a few things going for him, too, is like he does have an 8-yard average for 4 years. I mean, that really means something. And he does have that bounce back stat, right? Like he hasn't lost 2 games in a row or whatever it was.
Yes, Jimmy's famous for that. He'll never have back-to-back bad games.
Completion percentage after interceptions and stuff. I think he's a sharp guy. I think he's, I'd like to see him play with a little more emotion. But
he makes a mistake. He comes up, but every quarterback makes a mistake, and everybody acts like nobody else makes a mistake. Casey, we got to go though, fam. Let me see you.
Yeah, fun show tonight, Ronbo.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. I've been watching the Niners my whole life, man. You know what I'm saying? Ronbo is,
We're going to continue.
You know what they need, man? They need Jeff Garcia back. That's what I think.
That would be good, wouldn't it? I'd like to see Jeff back there, too. All right, Casey. Let me see you Friday, all right?
Yep.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I'm not allowed to make excuses for Jimmy, but we can give Matthew, we can give him all kind of excuses. We can give this guy excuses. But if I give Jimmy excuses, I'm out of line. I'm gonna continue being out of line. It's my dude. We already did this. That's Mr. Cottonmouth. He says I'm giving Jimmy excuses, but yet Tom Brady was screwing up the other day. Aaron Rodgers was screwing up the other day. What excuses do I can't give them any excuses, But Jimmy, if I say one thing about what Jimmy does and give him a reason why something happened, it's an excuse. Oh my God, it's Fly Guy. Fly Guy. Fly Guy.
What's good?
Fly Guy, you've got Matt Stafford's going to be your quarterback soon. It's looking like it's a real possibility. According to the Big Show, he has us, Vegas has us now at plus 100. 8 hours ago, Vegas had us at plus 350, landing Matt Stafford. Are you going to be happy with Matt Stafford? Is that okay with you?
I would say trading Jimmy G for Matt Stafford is like trading a hamburger for a cheeseburger. There's no upgrade there. What's the upgrade?
If you got a dairy intolerance.
Today, I didn't see no difference. Like, but this is what I propose. Like, 49ers send Jimmy G back to New England for a first-round pick, and then give Green Bay 2 first-round for Aaron Rodgers. So that's an upgrade right there to me.
But he might not.
That's
I don't
a Super Bowl team right there.
Rodgers doesn't want to leave, though. He was just pissed off.
But listen, you never know. If Aaron Rodgers knows 49ers want him, it's up to the players. Like, they didn't be like, I don't want to stay there no more. Like,
well,
that's an upgrade to me.
He put out a report the day after to sort of calm the San Francisco rumors down. He just wants them to make sure that they know he's not happy with what happened. He's been there for how many years, Fly Guy? He doesn't want to just pull up. Tom Brady left New England because he was pissed off. Aaron's just mad because they lost in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
part of it was his fault.
It's time for a change. It's time for a change for Green Bay. They're not going to keep him. Trust me, they're not going to keep him.
Well,
he been to the conference how many times and he lost. They don't want him no more. Like, they need somebody.
You remind me of that joke. Tom Brady, the dude wrote up, Tom Brady has won as many NFC championships as Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Steve Young.
Yeah.
And he did it in one time. I said, oh, come on, man. Take that down. That ain't right. You're okay.
And then, listen, last year, I was for 49ers bringing in Brady. I'm like, if we get Brady, we automatically going to win the Super Bowl. And it
I don't know about automatic, but you might get there. Brady hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, Fly Guy.
We cannot make the
I
same
hope he
mistake
does. Because I do not want to see KC. We got a dynasty going on here. So 49ers, kiss my boots. Oh, come on, Tom. Please beat the God. they have to win. I'm for Tom so hard. I hope he does win.
Yeah, okay. Like I'm still watching the show, and you was like, Tom made a mistake in the game they played last week. He didn't make no mistake. Those interceptions was like a punt. He know what he was doing. He was throwing them for a jump ball because he know if he don't get a first down, it's a punt. Yeah, people don't think Tom Brady is smart. He wasn't in his own 20-yard line throwing those balls like that.
Yeah.
He know if I'm gonna give my guy a chance to jump and catch the ball. If he don't get it, it's like we just punt the ball. People think, he threw 3 interceptions. Why do you think they won?
That was all part of an elaborate plan.
Brady's the smartest quarterback out there.
I will go along with that. Okay.
Like you can throw 4 interceptions and he'll still win the game.
And still win the game.
You know that. Yeah, I'm just punting the ball. I don't have to punt it with my leg. I'm punting it with my arm.
But Aaron had 3 shots.
We cannot make this mistake, man.
Yeah,
Rodgers
had
is the
3
best
chances.
chance we have to compete with a top quarterback. I don't see Matt Stafford, whatever his name is. It's like trading a cheeseburger for a hamburger, or a hamburger for a cheeseburger, whatever.
Well,
Rodgers is the only upgrade I see.
Yeah, well.
What's his name again? From
Stafford?
Not him. From
Texas?
I can't remember the team.
Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, Watson. Watson is too demanding. I don't like quarterback like that. Like I want to be out. He's gonna do the same thing to us first year.
Yeah. No,
we don't
he's
want
not
nobody like that.
And that's why Kyle didn't draft him. He's not what Kyle's looking for in a quarterback. And that's what the show was about tonight. I was just going about Kyle-style quarterbacks. He's only got a certain type. Yeah. He wants and demands certain things from quarterbacks, and he doesn't want a star out there running around being a big playmaker. He believes in his offense, and he wants you to run it. And if you don't run it, then you're out of here.
Watson the type that'd be like, Kyle, I'm going to do it this way.
And Kyle said, well,
I want to be out. So I don't
be the
think
last game. We could trade you next week.
Roger.
Yeah. They've been successful, though, him and his dad, right? So I understand why they want to do things their way, but it is a different changing league. So, and because Fly Guy, Jimmy G is not the same as he was his first year. Santana keeps bringing it up, but the point he's missing is this, because Kyle insists you do things his way. You're not going to go out there and just do what you want to do. You're going to look different. And I just hope Stafford, if he comes here, I hope he's got that kind of flexibility. Because I don't know. I know Jimmy does.
Yeah.
We know Matt Ryan did, But, it's...
And believe it, man. Believe it. My guy coming back. Marlon, he coming back.
Hey, if we get Stafford, you're definitely right. It's either him or CJ. Because we don't have...
But who you pick, Marlon or CJ?
I'll take Mullins. CJ worries me because I don't know... CJ, he thinks too slowly. I think if Mullins is out there with all the weapons, if George is home, Mostert's home, Kittle, if all the guys are out there, I think Nick will be fine. And if Stafford gets hurt, that's what's going to end up happening.
Nick Mullen is deadly. Yeah. Those little 11 interceptions, half of them wasn't even his fault. The guy is deadly. Like he almost threw 3,000 yards within 8 games.
This is what worries you about Shanahan's system. This is what I'm talking about when I say it takes a while to get everything right, and it goes on both ends. It's the receivers and the QB, not just the quarterback. There may have been mistakes, like you're saying now. And I know you're serious. I was laughing, but I know if you're supposed to be at a certain spot, like we diagrammed in practice, and you're not there, and I throw that ball there. I'm going to get blamed. But what fans don't know,
and then people will be like, just the QB. Team. And the receiver wasn't even in the spot to catch the ball. So you can't blame Mullen for that. Mullen played a good game, but We wasn't supposed to win last year anyway. That was the problem.
And we didn't.
Everything was like fell apart.
Fly guy, we got to go though, fam. Hey, I'll see you Friday. Always appreciate you. I always get a good laugh out of something. The Tom Brady doing that on purpose I'll never forget that, Fly guy. I love it.
Yeah. So remember, 3 interceptions. All of them was punt only.
I'll see you
and
Friday.
He did it because he feel like I'm gonna give my guy a chance to catch the ball. That's a smart quarterback.
There you go. All right, fam. See you Friday.
All right. Friday.
Hello?
Bill. Come on in, Bill. Oh, God.
All right, I've been waiting so patiently. I'm on the phone acting up. I got some points to make. You shut down all the Stafford haters. I was waiting for you to call. I was listening on another end, and I'm not giving the source up. But we are going to get Stafford.
Okay.
Get over it. It's happening. Number one, what do you think his jersey number is going to be? Because it's not going to be number 9. That belongs to Robbie Gould. What do you think his number is going to be?
All right, maybe keep shuffling. What number is he in? Was he in Detroit? Was he 11?
9.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 11 is a wide receiver.
With that being said, I'm gonna make some valid points before I get up off here.
Okay.
How did Jimmy play when he was hurt?
Pain.
He couldn't
Not
hardly
good.
play. Think about Matthew Stafford. If he was to get injured, he plays injured. He plays his best football. And he's competed against Aaron Rodgers. He's beat Aaron Rodgers hurt. He's beat Aaron Rodgers healthy.
He's a competitor.
Beat Green Bay.
Yeah, he's a competitor.
He's very competitive. And number 2, he hasn't had a run game. We got a run game. We got guys who we can throw deep. Yeah. So everybody's all panicking. Oh, no, Matthew Stafford. I was down for that in the beginning, but then, God made about the point. I was listening. So, yeah, it's going to open up the middle. And what's going to happen is we're going to win. And I have a good feeling that we're going to win good. And everybody's all panicky, all upset. But watch, Stafford's going to be on our team.
It's fear of the unknown.
When we start winning in week 1, all that hate's going to be gone. And people are going to be like, oh, I didn't know he could play like this. Well, I knew. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic now. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay. He don't want to go. They're going to offer him more money. And I have a feeling Watson's going to end up in New York Jets. That's just what's going on. He's getting out of Houston. He's not going to stay in Houston. It's not happening. He's done with Houston. Get that out of everybody's head. Deshaun Watson is leading the Houston Texans. It's over with. They shot themselves in the foot when they gave Hopkins away.
Bill, didn't they bring Bieniemy? Didn't they hire Bieniemy to be a coach or something?
No.
Okay.
He didn't get to see his people.
Oh, no, Bieniemy's still in Kansas City. I mean,
yeah.
They hired somebody that he seems to approve of. I don't know as Bieniemy.
No, somebody he didn't approve of, actually. I've read into that. That's false. But with that being said, I'm going to say this one thing, and I'm not happy with it, but a point was brought out with that. If the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl, it's going to be suspect. Because the Chiefs have more weapons than they did last year. And
more polished, too.
Yeah, and I'll put it this way. If our team last year versus the Bucs this year, we would beat them hands up. They wouldn't even stand a chance. So with that being said, if they lose with more players than they had last year, better, that's going to be a little kind of, okay, what's going on here? So with that being said, Ronbo, I don't want to say it. I don't like it. It turned my stomach. I've had to take some Tums thinking about it. I've had an upset stomach. The Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, bro. There's just no way around it.
I know it. I've known it since it happened. I just don't want it.
But we don't want it, but it's going to happen. So brace for what's going to happen. But if there's any good news, we're going to have a good team next year. I think we're going to possibly, I'm going to say good feeling. We're going to be in the Super Bowl next year, Ronbo, and we're going to win it. And I think we might verse the Chiefs. and get our redemption. So with that being said, that's cool. Let them have their ring, and let us beat them next year with Stafford. I'm good with it.
All right. I'm gonna take your word for it.
And I say it. I believe in Stafford. We have no choice. It's happening. So you got to believe in Stafford. So now with all the hating Stafford talks, get over it. You're going to see. Come March, Stafford's going to be on our team. It's going to happen. I'm not going to give out the source, but you
Please.
prepare for it.
We will
It's
not do
coming.
that.
You heard from me.
Yeah.
So, and I'll give out the source later, and I'll give credit to the individual that said it. I'm not the one that's going to take it. I'll give the credit when it happens. So, a person could be like, hey, he was right. So, get out for that. Just prepare for it, man. I'm
All right.
curious what his number is going to be.
I'll get a hot water bottle and prepare for the worst. Hey, Bill, one thing though.
Prepare for the best, Ronbo.
No,
Give me a 49er shout out. Be faithful
Yes.
and be happy.
For Bill and that unknown source. Bill. Have a good night, fam.
All right. Stay optimistic, Ronbo. Stay faithful. Have a nice day.
All right. And Mass Draw says, Jimmy's not the same since the ACL, bottom line. Thanks, Mass, for that contribution, too. And Paul Third says, hey, Ronbo, curious which quarterback you're comparing Jimmy to that makes you think a quarterback turning 30. Oh, that one's not going to come through. What's that one? Need more space. With 30, with one healthy. Switch again. Scroll this way again. Season under the belt can be the guy. Let me see. Here's a quarterback comparing Jimmy to that makes you think a quarterback turning 30. Jimmy just turned 30, by the way. Here's something I want to get straight. Okay, Jimmy just turned 30, right? Or he just becomes 30 this season. But he's already been with Kyle for a while now, which is why, for no other reason other than quarterbacks explode with Kyle into their second season. So I am dying to see, and I think it was about to happen last year, I'm dying to see what Jimmy would look like now with nothing but legitimate weapons around him and in his second year. This is what I complain about. But anyway, Paul Third, I feel y'all on these. I know everybody has different, but you got to know, the reason why I trust me over anybody else's opinion, I've been right. I've only been wrong twice. I was wrong about Pettis, and I'm still maybe wrong about Akello. I don't know. Maybe Akello turns into something eventually. But everything else, I'm always right. I will continue to say Jimmy could be the shiznit, but his healthy problem is a problem, though. Otis, come on in, man. Oh, Leonard Mike. Leonard Mike.
Oh,
come on, man.
Hey, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on, Ronbo? I'm over here. I'm being quiet.
Mike,
I'm waiting. I'm letting you go through your spiel and all
listen,
this and that.
Mike, no Green
on?
Bay, Matt Stafford.
Oh, look, let me tell you, not my first choice. But first, I got to say this, Ronbo. Boy, oh boy, is it sizzling now. Let me tell you. I can smell it like you smell the onions when you get off the freeway at the In-N-Out, Ronbo. Let me tell you. I can smell it all the way. And look, listen. We gotta I don't know, you got a couple of callers that called in right before this last guy. The guy, Jimmy G, looks good running out of town. Listen, we're not writing a friggin' Saturday night special here, all right? We're running a friggin' football team. It's a football team. Now let's get down to it, all right? People want to talk about statistics. Here's statistics for you. 4 of 11 for 46 yards and an interception. That was Jimmy G's fourth quarter in the Super Bowl. That's not good enough. I don't give a shit if it is the biggest game of games. That's not good enough. That's not what you need from your franchise quarterback when you need to win a game. 4 of 11 for 46 yards and an interception. That ain't going to get it done. All right?
Mike, before you go off on a tangent about that, I just want to make one thing clear to you and everybody else about that. I watched Brady and I watched Tom Brady and also Aaron Rodgers put on the worst poop show I've ever seen in the fourth quarter. So give me a break about Jimmy's one time doing that, Mike. That's just not fair. It's not.
Are you talking about
that fourth quarter meltdown by two quarterbacks supposed to be the greatest of all time, and both of them look like absolute ass, and you're bringing up that Jimmy G fourth quarter.
I heard you, but listen, Ronbo, I heard you, but are you talking about the same Tom Brady that leads the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks? In fourth quarter game-winning drive.
I'm telling you, it happens.
No.
It happens.
Right, it does happen, and you're absolutely right. And it's allowed to happen to a guy that leads the NFL in that statistic, Ronbo.
Okay, Mike, but all I'm saying is, please give me something else besides a fourth quarter meltdown, because we just witnessed one from the two greatest in the game. It's true. It's overworked. It's overworked.
You got to get this, and what you and every other
go ahead. You're not going to stop it. Go ahead. Work that stat. Why you can't have that from your franchise quarterback. But last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers was a franchise quarterback, and so was Tom Brady, and they did it. So you go another way, and I'll be fine.
Aaron Rodgers is a franchise quarterback on a team that the offseason before their quarterback, their existing quarterback, was getting ready to have an MVP-type season. They're out trading up in the first round to draft a quarterback. That's why he has.
What's that got to do with fourth quarter meltdown?
And on top of that, look, here's another thing. All right, at the end of the day, what you don't really talk about when you talk about what Jimmy. Listen, Jimmy G's in the exact same category as Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff.
You're going away from that argument, though. I'm talking about fourth quarter meltdowns that everybody's holding that argument over Jimmy G because of what happened without looking at any circumstances.
Okay, no, because you always say it like it's one thing. Like the other night you were saying, because he missed the pass to Emmanuel Sanders. No, listen,
the fourth quarter stunk.
Missed pass. Hold on.
The fourth quarter stunk. Nobody said anything different. But I'm telling you what happens.
I could live with a missed Ronbo. I could live with a missed pass, all right? I lived with three of them back-to-back.
You just brought it up for the 15th time.
Listen, I lived with three of them back-to-back by Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl against the Ravens. I can live with the missed pass. This is what I can't miss, though. I can't live with our quarterback missing guys wide open. And when I mean missing, I'm not talking about throwing a bad pass. He didn't throw the friggin' ball. He missed George Kittle over the middle so much in that friggin' Super Bowl that George Kittle was getting visibly frustrated on the sideline. He was getting pissed off. I never seen George's demeanor like that. Never. But he was wide open on several plays where he was clearly the number one read, and forget a friggin' shitty pass. He didn't even throw him the friggin' ball. He didn't even get him the ball, Ronbo. You can't live with that. I can't live with that. That's dog shit. That's dog shit at the quarterback position. You cannot have that in the game of all games when you're supposed to be locked in, focused, ready to go. You cannot play that way.
All right, Mike, you made that point. Mike, move on to the next point. Mike, you're going to run out of time. I got it. I got it.
What do you got?
What you just said. You said I can't live with missing George Kittle when he's wide open. I heard it. You said it 5 times. I heard it.
But here's the thing, Ronbo. Here's the thing. You don't sit there and say that everyone dogs Jimmy because of a missed pass to Emmanuel Sanders. If you freaking get it, then don't throw out shitty excuses like that. And the other thing is, you say, now that he has all these weapons, the only freaking new weapon we had was Brandon Ayuk. And it wasn't even a new add-on. It was a swap-out between him and Emmanuel Sanders. Other than that, he had the same exact weapons last year. All the weapons you're talking about in the Super Bowl year had all those guys, and you're damn right he threw way too many interceptions. He threw more interceptions last year than Patrick Mahomes has thrown in 2 years combined. All right? for anyone to try to
Mike,
sit
be
there and
careful.
think
Don't
you
start
can build a
doing
franchise around that,
bullshit, Mike, because that
you're
could be checked.
delusional.
That could be fact checked in a heartbeat. That is not
Fact
true.
check it.
That is not true.
Here's the
He
other
threw
thing.
more
The other guy that
INTs.
got
What?
on here,
He threw more INTs in one game than Patrick Mahomes threw it all season?
The
Mike.
other guy got on here. The other guy that got on here was comparing the stats between Jimmy and Matt Stafford, right? And when he got to the interception, it was 1.6 to 1.9 or 1.3 to 1.9. How is it that a guy that's thrown 10 years worth of NFL passes, 10 years worth, has got a smaller interception percentage than a guy that's only completed 116-game season? You tell me that.
Mike, you know what?
And then on top of that,
I told you not to keep repeating the same thing. Mike, we're out of time.
Shanahan's offense, he should have been, listen, not only should we have went to the Super Bowl last year, he should have been flat out balling. 3 years in Shanny's offense, not 2, not 1. That was his 3rd year. He should have been. He was getting hidden in crucial playoff games against other teams where we just had to turn to running the ball because Shannon wasn't going to watch him throw the ball to the Vikings.
You know, Mike, I got to tell you, though, we're the only team I know that wins and still bitching. But you know what?
What do you
That's
mean
cool.
win? What do you mean win?
Hey, Mike,
what do you mean win?
you're crying about 2019 and the damn team went to the Super Bowl. Mike, this is insane.
What I'm talking about
Mike, we're out of
is
time,
all
though.
of you trying to act like we got some kind of, like we got some kind
10-point lead with minutes to go, and it's Jimmy's damn fault that we lost the Super Bowl.
What it is,
Mike,
Ronbo, no,
I'm going to see you Friday, man. I got to go.
It's your fault for thinking that Jimmy is any better than Dak Prescott or Jared Goff.
None of them came as close to winning the Super Bowl as Jimmy did.
Them players,
All right.
I don't know how any of this
All I know is Jimmy gave you 10-point lead with minutes to go, and you don't give a rat's ass. You're still all over him. And you're still giving him grief about that pass. Mike, we will continue. We'll continue on Friday. Mike, he's not going to. Night, Mike. And Mr. Kanabuchi, if you don't like the truth, I appreciate your contribution. I'm sorry, I can't help you, man. I ain't telling nothing but the gospel truth. You know, I mean, your opinion versus mine. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I ain't making no excuse. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm watching these guys screw up, and every time comes up with an example, Jimmy G had one play to make. He's a franchise quarterback, and he couldn't make it. Like that never happens. Every now and then a quarterback's going to miss. He doesn't miss every time. That's why I pointed out Brady, the 2 best in the league, are having terrible contests. That's what I'm saying. Long time Niner fan, thanks. I'm going to come back at y'all. When you come back with that, I'm going to come back at you. That's what we do. Ellis! I knew this was going to be a hot off season. They need to hurry me make this trade so we can stop arguing. Oh, God. Ellis? Boy, look, see what y'all did. You scared Ellis. Ellis!
Yo. What's up, man?
Oh, Ellis, you know, it's the shouting time because looks like Stafford's going to be it's a Kyle kind of guy. He might come since you're going to have to lower their price. I'm going to say, second round pick this year, first round pick next year, and I think there's something else involved. But yeah, I kind of feel like this might happen. Actually, I don't know the feeling because you know how Kyle hides his feeling a lot. So we'll see. But is that okay with you? Because as I say, he is a Kyle kind of guy. This could be.
Yeah, I mean it's I think the only thing we can look at is just the offense. If we don't have the off season, I remember hearing earlier on one of the calls in the show they were talking about, if we have the off season, the ideal everything, then it'll be the perfect situation. However, if that doesn't happen, then what?
Wait, else say again?
Is Matt Stafford not prepared? I'm saying if earlier there was a guy that was saying that if we have the ideal off season and training camp and everything else, then having a Matt Stafford in would be perfect. But if we don't have that, is that going to still be on the table?
Good point.
Or are we going to be concerned about Matt Stafford getting adjusted to the offense and becoming frustrated, Kyle becoming frustrated, there being a clash, because we can't afford to have nothing like that happen. So I mean, I would prefer Matt Stafford over Jimmy Garoppolo. Let me say, I am only saying that. However, the continuity and it has to be a flow. It has to be a plug-in. He doesn't have the. Well, I don't know. Between him and Aaron Rodgers, I know Aaron Rodgers would have been a bit better fit, but that doesn't mean that Matt Stafford can't adjust, and that's just going to be a lot more rigorous of a situation in training to try and figure out how they can make sure they get him all that he needs if he does become a Niner. Speaking about Matt Stafford,
Ellis,
he's going to be putting all the faith in that. So it's
you can underline that though. Because if they don't have a normal preseason where Matt can get out there, learn the system, learn to work with the guys, that's invaluable. I hadn't even thought about that. That's got to happen. Or CJ or Nick starts the season. First 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, because it's a coin flip basically right now. We're not guaranteeing any of that. We can't predict the future. So, it's kind of just one of those things where, and I'm all for it. Let me be clear. I would love Matt Stafford is, I feel like, our kind of quarterback. He's a Niner. He's a Niner kind of a player. You know what I mean? He's tough as nails. He's got a great arm. He fights to the end. You know what I mean? I've seen him pull off some stuff. Just watching.
He can play. He can play, but there's gonna have to be that what you just mentioned. I hadn't even thought about that. We can't have no OTAs, no preseason. That is not gonna work. No, I don't care who you are. You need to get some reps out there. Even if we're running a bogus system, you need some reps out there to get going. We can't just. All right, guys, we're not going to get into any preseason work in or any preseason games, but we went through virtual and we should be okay. No, that's not going to happen. So CJ's going to start. Yeah. Nick's going to start for the first game, and we'll see how it goes from there. We'll see if we can get Matt in for a couple of reps and get him acclimated to what we're doing. That's scary. But you know what? That's okay. Because if we got our full staff, Nick or CJ will be fine. Oh, God. It's some scary stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And so it's like it would behoove, Kyle, and for us to get past these rumors and either, put these things to bed or get one of these guys and get them going sooner than later, because they're going to need to already beginning, to do some kind of a introductory, training, or just even if it's just visual or tape or little stuff, you know what I mean, so you can get some hours in and start getting, like we spoke about, acclimated with the offense and just the nuances of being in a Kyle Shanahan type of offense versus what he's more accustomed to, which gives him a little bit more of a balance with the run, and it's less wear and tear on his arm and him having to always make the damn play, because he is a playmaker, which is good. So that gives us a lot more of a shot in knowing that he's, more of a guaranteed playmaker, you know what I mean, at the quarterback position. So, but it needs to happen sooner than later because he needs to start getting it in now or sooner than later.
Ellis, I guarantee you, if we don't have a normal preseason, Matt Stafford is not starting. That's just the bottom line. We got to have a normal preseason. He's got to get out there and get some reps.
And he's not coming to San Francisco to not start either. So that's what I'm saying. This is going to be a major call right now. Kyle's going to have to let a couple of these great quarterbacks, sign with some other teams and have to, take and go one more go with Jimmy and figure it out next year and just see what happens and take that risk, or try and start planning ahead for the future now. You know what I mean? That's what he kind of has to ask himself.
They may tell Stafford, they'll listen, being that we're not going to get any reps in, I'm going to have to bring him along slowly. And Nick's going to start for a few weeks, but I'm going to continue to work you in. It'll be like Tua and Fitz in Miami from last year.
Yeah. See, so and when we're thinking about what we have to put up for him, it's a lot more reasonable than what the Deshaun Watson conversation is. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to have anything to do with a Deshaun Watson trade, giving up all of that stuff. I would rather go for a Matt Stafford. Or just keep Jimmy Garoppolo, to be honest, and figure out what we're going to do from there, because there will be quarterbacks. There will be some availability and some good quarterbacks even next season. You know what I mean? Whether it's free agency, already NFL, or, you know, some prospects coming out, or, you know, some guys coming out maybe even this year as well, you know, because it looks like these quarterbacks are going to be going pretty early this year.
That's right. And anybody got any money because of the cap? Ellis, we ran out of time. Ellis, I'll see you Friday, and we'll continue arguing. And well, not you and me. We usually see kind of eye and eye. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway.
Oh yeah. Right. I've had my little issues with Jimmy in the past. That's pretty much been it.
Yeah, but
you know,
one thing I like about you,
have
Ellis,
confidence in him because
you don't make up things and start amplifying any faults that no other quarterback has. This is why I appreciate your take I can handle. But some people come in here and say, this guy does this guy does this. And Jimmy does this. I say, what the TF?
Yeah.
And I can't get over that. I can handle everything else. So, but anyway, and you do that.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that,
job, family. Yes, sir. Yeah, salute, family. Yeah, always, man. Got to be transparent. You know what I mean? And it's no favoritism. It's got to be straight down the middle. So but I'll be willing to take Jimmy if we got him for another season. If it doesn't end up happening, let's just get him aligned. Let's get his health right, and let's take care of our quarterback, and then he'll take care of us. And let's just put our faith in that. You know what I mean? Right. But thank you, Brother Ronbo, for the platform as always.
Thank you, Ellis.
And,
appreciate
shout
it,
out
man.
to the Niner faithful.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See you
I'll
Friday.
see you in a few days. I'll talk to you in a few days. Yes, sir.
Looking forward. And Tom Huxley says, Niner Mike's going to dig up stool pigeons and move the bodies to another site. Tommy, thanks for the contribution. Listen, let me get one thing clear. I love Niner Mike, but we will you know what's so funny? Every guy I've known from the East Coast, Philly is still the worst. New Jersey is right in there. You East Coast dudes, boy, I could go all day long. You think we're soft out in the West, and they come at you with that, boy. Zick, zick, zick. It's like Biggie versus Tupac. Hey! Oh, man. Anyway, Steven.
What's up, Ronbo? I've been
Steven,
waiting.
I'm sorry, man. A lot of people want to come in. The subject matter tonight was who's a Kyle style football player as far as quarterbacks go. And the only guy available is probably the Kyle style guy, which, of course, is Stafford. I think he would be a Kyle kind of guy. So he may be, according to what everybody's saying, and Big Show's Vegas odds, and Bill, his unnamed sources, Stafford is your quarterback. Are you okay with that?
What, Ronbo? Okay. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. So what people keep forgetting is that playbook, you can add a QB in. That's cool. But if we don't have an off season like we did this season,
scary, isn't it?
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You can't learn it on the fly. So for us to get rid of, let's pretend, right? Since that's what we're going to do. That's what we want to play. Let's play pretend. Let's say we get both, right? Let's say we get to keep Jimmy and Stafford, right?
Oh.
And we let go of two people. It would be too much money. It would be. But you have to remember, we didn't sign Trent yet. We haven't signed him. It's still up in the air.
So
let's say we don't get Trent. We don't get Trent. We get Stafford. Keep Jimmy. Okay, cool. Awesome. Everyone's happy, right? So, but I don't see, here's the thing, even if that were the case, I don't see him starting first. I don't. Jimmy's going to start. Jimmy starts screwing up. Jimmy gets hurt. Stafford comes in, right? Okay. How good is he going to do? I can see him doing exactly what Besser did or exactly what Mullins did, regardless of what people say he did before Detroit, because the only person he had was Megatron, right? Cool. All right. Now he has more weapons with us. But, that could go hand in hand, whatever. I don't see Stafford being our saving grace.
I just want to say one thing on what you just said. Listen, by the way, Galladay, whatever his name is, that's a bad boy. If the sympathy for Stafford having no weapons is starting to, I'm starting to realize Galladay or whatever his name is, dude was killing us.
Galloway.
Okay, yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's like, I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. Because I guarantee you, Ronbo, the moment we get Stafford and we ditch Jimmy, let's say he goes back to New England, whatever, whatever. We keep Stafford, right? We end up going for it. The moment Stafford starts sucking, the whole fan base is going to want to hang him by his balls. There's no way. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to defend Stafford and say, no. You guys wanted Stafford. None of my call in here. You said, get Jimmy the hell up out of here and give you this. Now you got it. Get in here. Now we go talk. I'd be ready. I'd be loving it.
We all would, Ronbo. I'm telling you right now, if we get Stafford and drop Jimmy like a bag of used corn chips, yeah. It'll be the end of us. It'll be the end of us. Like, the whole team will disassemble because there's no way he's going to come in and fix that chemistry that team had with Jimmy. This whole team, this whole franchise has stuck by Jimmy. That says everything right then and there. Players, personnel, it doesn't matter. They all out for Jimmy. And there has to be something that we're not seeing. The guy got 2 Super Bowl rings. Did he play for them? No, he didn't. But that expertise in honing and trying to be number one over Brady. Matter of fact, I remember verbatim, Jimmy said, I want to start over Brady. I can start over Brady. Played 4 games with New England when Brady got suspended. Won every single one. Handily. Who do you have? Edelman and Gronk.
He doesn't.
Oh, no, I think Gronk
wasn't
done.
there. I saw that. Jimmy does not lose ordinarily. He lost in the Super Bowl, okay, but he had a 10-point lead. He wasn't coming from behind. They came and snatched us. Nobody cares about what the defense did. It was all about Jimmy. That's why I said, man, y'all are full of horse. I mean, come on, man. Come down to one throw. That game should defense took some blame for that.
And you know what, Ronbo? I'm going to tell you this right now. Neither Mike brought up the fact that George Kittle was mad, right? He was physically agitated. Cool. Great. I'm glad you noticed. No one else noticed. The reason why no one passed it to Kittle is because he was getting guarded. He wasn't open. He wasn't flailing his arms. He wasn't breakdancing in the middle of the field. If you got double man coverage and you're a QB and you see you got double man coverage on the one go-to guy you have, you don't throw it to him regardless, especially if there's heavy traffic. Because what happens right then and there, you get intercepted. You get heavy traffic, you get intercepted,
Steven,
and that's what happens.
I've been wanting to bring that point up because if George Kittle's being double-teamed or whatever, how many guys are downfield that should be open? It's like Shanahan says, in his system, there's always somebody open. And everybody knows, because they've been quarterbacks, exactly what's going on when Jimmy's out there, and it's always his fault. So, I don't even try to argue that point. But I'm glad you did.
And you know what, Ronbo? I'm going to say this right now. Jimmy G has a cannon for a goddamn arm.
I know.
That dude can put a ball through a steel wall if you wanted to. Let me put it like this. The last play of the Super Bowl, since everyone wants to go back to that game, the last play of the Super Bowl was to Emmanuel Sanders.
Into the end zone.
My guy threw it into the end zone from where he was at. You mean to tell me that you're going to blame it on Jimmy? It's the last play of the game, all or nothing, double or nothing, and you're going to put your slowest veteran wide receiver. That wasn't a Jimmy thing. Jimmy is like, hey, I got to get this out. It's the last play of the game. Here's everything.
Cannot get picked.
Threw it.
Yeah.
Exactly. He threw something that was unpickable.
Steven, you know what? What I do believe, I don't think the 49ers work on the deep shots that much because the fact of I've always said for years, you know what? We need a deep threat. Remember that Marquise Goodwin shot that Jimmy put right in his breadbasket and he lost it? I said, don't tell me he can't throw it. I've seen it. Okay. We got to go, fam. I'm getting pressure. Okay. Let me see you Friday. Okay.
All right, I'll see you Friday, Ronbo.
All right, Steven. Have a good night.
All right, take care.
You too. Okay. Where are we now? 49ers on report. Jimmy G talk leads to I know, right? This has been all season. Actually, even during the Super Bowl season, people crying about Jimmy. He's not this. He's not that. We won the game. Damn, now, Jimmy, we don't want him out there. Kevin Wong says, when the hell are you going on Grant's show to get destroyed in a debate about Jimmy? Jimmy's expensive, unavailable, choking interception, throwing ass. Okay. Thanks for sharing and thanks for contribution. Listen, Kevin also wants to say Grant Cohn is about to surpass you in YouTube subscribers, and he's been only talking Niners for 1 year. How do you feel? He's only been talking Niners for 1 year? Grant, what's that guy's name? What's the other guy's name? Kevin? Kevin, okay. I feel terrible. Does that make you feel better? I mean, Grant's your guy. He and I are friends. We don't necessarily, we're yin and yang. Grant is like here, and I'm over here, okay? Nothing wrong with me disagreeing with Grant. I hope that's okay with you, because I'm going to continue to disagree with him. All right. Master says, Brady went out, and Jimmy came in and went 4-0 and got injured out for the season in New England, too. Remember? Yeah. No, Jimmy had a separated shoulder, I remember that game, from the Miami linebacker. So, if you've ever played football, you know that injuries are always lurking on every play. This is why, for those who only watch and go after players for getting hurt, I have a little problem with that. So excuse me if I come back at you like I do. I try to stay calm. But I know the brute forces that are going on that field. This is why I said you get hurt. Everybody knows it's possible. But don't nobody start getting on nobody because they got hurt. Hey, Darius.
What's up, Ronbo?
Darius, I'm glad you came. Darius, I need to calm down just from your tone as you speak. I've got this Wong guy talking about how great Grant Cohn is and how he would just hand me my ass. I'm not looking to get into a Grant Cohn. He can think what he wants to. He's never like Jimmy. But he's wrong about Grant being around for only 1 year. But go ahead.
I tried watching Grant Cohn one time and I got a headache. That guy says some of the weirdest things I've ever heard. But hey, he gets his money. He gets money. He gets some clicks.
Grant does. He does that on purpose. He does that by design. Yeah. Because you think about the people who do things. Sometimes you get a reaction. You can get a reaction if you're good at this. You do that. Now Grant says things. If you ever went over to his chat. Oh, people just destroy poor Grant. I actually come in when I'm on his chat and I say, Grant, you know what? But then again, and I'm polite, but some people just hate on poor Grant.
Yeah, well, he does it. He does it to himself. So
yeah,
I do feel bad for Mike though. Jimmy G has drove that man to insanity. He's like that guy, I've heard him.
He's really pissed
for a while now. How long has he been mad at Jimmy G for? Since last year? Every time I hear that guy talk, if Jimmy G was in front of him, he would kill Jimmy G.
Jimmy
he'd murder him. He'd even drink his blood if he had to. He'd do whatever.
I know he's silly, but he does like Aaron Rodgers, and I understand that. Aaron Rodgers is fake. I mean, he's good. He's great. My problem is, okay, I really want to see Jimmy play for more than one season, full season, and I call the police on me. I don't care. I think that's not too much to ask for, and I get comparisons with veterans like Stafford and Brady and Rodgers. I mean, come on, man. He's not supposed to get compared with those guys. How about we play 4 or 5 seasons and then get that comparison? Nobody understands that, so that's fine. They can continue not to understand it. I ain't going to stop saying it. But Darius, what is your feeling about Matt Stafford coming to 49ers? Does that work for you?
Matt Stafford, if he comes to the Niners, he does bring something that Jimmy G can bring. His ball placement is better than Jimmy G. His deep throw accuracy is without a doubt better than most. Even though we don't see Jimmy G throwing the ball deep down to the field, I remember this season on the Patriots game specifically, if he put that ball in front of
Oh,
Ayuk,
Ayuk.
but instead of behind Ayuk, Ayuk had a touchdown and said he had to run out of bounds and move his ball. So Stafford's deep ball placement is, I'd say, significantly better than Jimmy G. So Stafford's arm talent's better, his deep ball's better. I think Stafford can throw the ball into tighter windows with more accuracy. Other than that, they're pretty much the same quarterback. I don't watch Stafford that much. I'm not a Lions fan, but I don't know if he's more mobile than Jimmy. I think he is, but other than that, they're pretty much the same player. Their turnover, their touchdown to interception ratios are pretty much identical. Jimmy's is a 1.96 and Stafford's is a 1.95. Even though Stafford has been playing longer, their touchdown to interception ratios are very similar. But the thing that puts if Stafford comes to our team, I wouldn't be upset. If Jimmy G stays on our team, I wouldn't be upset either, because the one thing that Jimmy G has that Stafford doesn't is familiarity with the system and familiarity with the players. That's something that Stafford can't have.
There's hold right there, though.
For Stafford to have.
I just want to ask you something right there. Okay, remember what Jimmy G looked like when he first came? Did you see the difference in Jimmy G the next year? I wonder. This is what my other big question mark. Okay, we know what Stafford looks like if you've ever seen him play. Does he remind you of Jimmy and everybody else upon learning Kyle's offense? This is the thing, And can he orchestrate and because Kyle, it is written, Kyle believes in what he does. He doesn't want a playmaker out there doing his own thing. He wants you to run his offense. So does that mean that Stafford could come out there and become what Kyle wants him to?
He probably can. You saw it. Some people may disagree with me. Some people may. In my opinion, it happened to Jimmy G. Jimmy G in his first, you saw the first 5 games that he played is a completely different Jimmy G than he is now. Totally. I saw Jimmy G move around the pocket much more effectively. And he's throwing to who? Marquise Goodwin?
And Trent
he was
Taylor.
throwing the ball to nobody.
That's all he had. And Kendrick Bourne out there running the wrong play. Yeah.
Right. And he looks so much more comfortable. So is it Kyle Shanahan's system? I don't know. I can't say that because Kyle Shanahan's system is
takes
also
him to the Super
very
Bowl.
effective. Right. Matthew Stafford won an MVP because of the system. So
Absolutely.
I can't say Kyle Shanahan's system is ineffective. But I will say this. I will say Shanahan's system wants a specific type of quarterback that's not improvising.
You
don't need to scramble, but he doesn't like improvising quarterbacks.
Is Matt Stafford, is he going to be down with that? Can he do it? Because as I say, Matt Ryan was pissed with Kyle that whole first year. So Stafford, being a veteran that he is, and like Rodgers, Rodgers hated LaFleur for the first few minutes after he got there, right? So Stafford, another seasoned, grizzled vet, has got to come in and say, Kyle's going to say, okay, here's what I want. Well, I don't know, but there's something. Look, coach, let me explain. How about this, and this? Matt, I'm the coach. I'm overdoing it, but I'm just wondering. I want to see Stafford come in and do that and see if he still looks the same as everybody's talking about right now. Because chances are it's going to be an adjustment.
I don't think Stafford's going to mind that as much because he wants out of Detroit. He knows that
anywhere
he goes, it's essentially better than Detroit. So I don't think he'll mind it as much as
and he might be great. I just worry. I don't want us because we were fine the way we were, except for Jimmy getting hurt. That's why I want to run it back with the same guys. Everybody hates me for that, but I want to see it one more time. But Matt, Darius, we ran out of time. Go ahead and make this final point. Right. What were we going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to agree with your statement in the beginning. I would really like to see what Jimmy G can do after a second full season under Shanahan. For me, that's something that I want to see because I want to see if he can grow or if he can't grow. But people already want him gone, and I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I personally would really like to see Jimmy G in the second full season under Kyle Shanahan, especially with Ayuk's growth. I think Ayuk's going to be really, really good next year.
A healthy Debo.
This year,
yeah, I tell you. Yeah. So anyway, Darius, hey, let me see Friday, and maybe we'll hear more about this deal. They're not supposed to be talking about those. It's tampering at this point, but still. No. With Stafford, it's okay because they've already agreed to separate. So, all right.
Ronbo, hold on. I have a quick question for you before I leave. I heard someone say the Stafford to Niners is pretty much already confirmed. Is that? Because I don't know if that's what it was exactly, but
I don't even know
said,
I don't even know if it's legal to confirm it yet, but the talks are going on. I mean, a lot of people think Vegas has already got the odds up there.
The Niners are the favorites to land.
Oh yeah, they've been saying that all. Yeah, they've been saying that all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who made the report that the Niners are favorites?
Several sources.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. All right, Vam. We'll talk to you Friday. Yeah.
I'll catch you.
And Mastro also says Matt Castle finished that season. Matt Castle. Finish what season, Mass? Okay. I'm not sure about it. Matt Castle finished when he was with the Patriots? Tommy, Grant isn't a fan. Ronbo is. Tommy, no, Grant's okay. He has his approach. I've got nothing against Grant, though. Bobo says, Jimmy he is the best quarterback in the NFC West in 2019. Stafford not much better and older, too. Watson and Rodgers going to cost half our team, and then some. Aloha. Yep. You know what? As I've said from the whole time, Watson is not leaving Texas. If so, do you know the front office, there'd be like an exodus like you've never seen before. I am positive the owners have told, listen, if Deshaun leaves, you guys, as soon as he closes the door, don't let him close the door because you go right behind him. You know, you don't let him leave Texas. They've already lost too much. And there won't be any butts in the seats in Texas if he leaves. J.J. Watt, I'm not sure if, J.J.'s only got, if he gets hurt one more time, J.J.'s probably going to quit. They already got rid of D-Hop. And we're talking rebuild, I mean, from the scratch if they let him go. So, no, that's not going to happen. Kevin says, nothing but respect for you, Ronbo. When are you going to get Vish Kamaran on the show? I don't know. I like just talking to you guys. Master, you're right, Ronbo. I'm getting 2007 mixed up with 2014. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys, really, thanks for the contributions tonight. And remember, even Trey, we love each other. It's just that we gotta do this every year in the offseason if we're not winning. In fact, this season's kind of mild compared to those seasons where we were bricking by bricking. Bam! I'll see you Friday to kick off the weekend. My dude.